Isn't this all from the out of the feelings that all get to do? Here they say your mom is up for dead when the girls and all never got
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, somehow Travis convinced me to introduce this whole freaking podcast, which I'm supposed to be a guest on. So this is some total bullcrap, but you better stay tuned because you never know what's going to happen on Smallmouth Crush. They will sell you the underwear that they are wearing, ladies and gentlemen. There'll be an auction. They'll sell all sorts of crap. They will tell you all sorts of stories. They'll even sell you their words. That's right. If this isn't good enough, they'll tell you, hey, pay a membership and come to this other thing, and we'll say more stuff for you. So, yes, this is the Smallmouth Crush of a webcast that somehow I'm supposed to be a guest on, but I'm introducing. And really, let's be honest, it's a podcast full of a bunch of older guys that try to look young. So I'm going to join them. I'm going to switch hats up right now. I'm going to try to be cool. I'm just going to try to sit with the MO that is this podcast, old guys acting young and selling all their old crap. Really, it's Sanford and Son of fishing shows, but they're selling you their old crap. I mean, just say this to yourself. If the lures were so good, why didn't they just keep them? You know what I mean? Like, well, where's the lures you're not selling me, Epic Eric? That'd be freaking epic if you just sell me the stuff that you're keeping that actually works, rather than telling me how good this particular piece of crap is or that particular piece of crap. Sell some good stuff, and then you're going to get an intern to work for free. I guess that's cool too. But I mean, I don't really have much more to say. I welcome to the Smallmouth Crush podcast. I'm going to sit here awkwardly until they join us.
Hey, we're here. I listen, Dave. I'm not that old. Okay, now some
No,
other
you're not.
people here.
What?
I'm sweating, man.
I was up all night ironing this.
Oh, let me flatten out my brim too, man. I'll try. Hold on.
Was that intro okay? I don't think it was very professional at all, guys.
That was killer, man. I was crying in the background there. Oh my God. Now you're gonna make me sell all my Zoom crankbaits. That's good.
Well, it's none of it's good. Come on. If it's on that shelf behind you, the for sale shelf, it's shit, ladies and gentlemen.
Total crap. That's why it's hanging right there. You got that right. But if you're interested, I got this Norman crankbait. It's just a little nicely worn.
Hey, listen, everybody. First of all,
everything.
That was epic. Good new intro, Travis, as well, man. I like it.
Yeah, I tried that.
The after hours picture of you was pretty damn good. I like it.
So, Dave, they think I'm a half vampire. I don't know it's because I get little sleep or I'm always going, or I really don't know why. But
no, it's because your shot is overblowing. Your face is always so damn white. You look like a freaking X-ray, bro.
This has turned it into the Smallmouth Crush roast night.
I'm just being honest. They won't tell you the truth. They're not real friends.
You got a good point. The light's pretty close to me. I mean,
yeah.
It is.
Maybe you could get one of those ring lights that has a little tint on it, like I got. I look a little bit more normal. You have the white light,
neutral.
It's probably got other settings if you toggle through it. Really, even the one at Dollar General has 3 settings. Right. Speaking of Dollar General, how about these readings?
This has been good, man. This has been good, man. This is good. Keep it.
You see my ring light in them.
Yes, you can. That's pretty good too. That looks like a monocle.
Let me look at that lure. Let me get a better look. Here, get it close to the camera. I feel like I just got engaged. True story. I asked my wife to marry me. Yes, and she said yes. And her father pulled out a freaking thing, checking out the diamond right away. And
What?
Yeah,
like a
made
loop,
me
like
feel
a
very
loop.
uncomfortable because it was not even a diamond.
Yeah. It's a moissanite. And it's worth fuck all.
But we're still together, so it's all good.
That is
stuff,
good,
man.
Well, listen, I want to welcome everybody to the show tonight. We got a action-packed show as always. Well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how the night goes. A lot of great stuff going on. We got to catch up a little bit.
I like the chat, just so you know. I like this.
Yes. So
I'll be ripping this off for my podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
The best part is interacting with the viewers here, and they always have some entertaining comments. Sometimes we'll throw up some really good ones on the screen. Make sure everyone can see those. So definitely sound off, guys. What part of the country you're from? Say hi in the comments, and see if we can make Dave laugh. With
I'm pretty sure you will.
I think he's already laughing, man.
Yeah.
Could be. Actually, no, Dave just helped me wrap up season 2 of the podcast. We just got done recording that. It went great. That'll be out the day after, I don't know, January 2nd, I guess. Day after New Year's Day.
When they air all the shitty shows on sports and stuff, like the greatest no greats of the year. Ed Mercer on the Smallmouth Crush.
Love it.
You've listened all year and learned. Now for something completely different.
That's right. If you only had one lure to fish for the rest of your life, what would it be, Dave?
What a stupid question, Travis. Really? Don't insult my intelligence. One lure. If I had one lure to fish for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be in this line of freaking work. Look behind your friend there.
I got major problems with that question. I don't think so.
There's no tournament pro on earth that has one lure. Even Matt Robertson has more than one freaking ugly stick.
Let me know in the comments what lure you think Dave chose for his answer.
Man, that's good. So Dave, I didn't know Dave. The roots of Dave are 60-second reel clips, which I thought you were the forerunner for quick hidden educational videos. Those are some of my favorite, the 1 minute angler. I love those because I learned something in 60 seconds. I don't have to watch an hour of anything, 30 minutes of anything, a bunch of mumbo jumbo. It's hard hitting. I got a question for you. What was your favorite?
Before you ask your question, how can a person who likes hard hitting 1 minute tips host a 7.5 hour freaking podcast every week?
I don't even know because we really don't talk about fishing anymore.
Wow.
That's why I'm here.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
I digress. Go ahead with your question. Let's get serious. Travis, I swear to you, I will not ruin it anymore.
Let's keep on track here. Okay.
What was your favorite 60-second reel that you ever did, or the one that was a fan favorite that people loved?
That
was your origin before TV, right?
Stuff. I did ate a worm and jammed a hook in my hand and did, oh my God. It's no different than what I do. I don't know if you realize I just didn't get hugged enough. I need attention.
So you jammed the hook in your hand to show people how to remove it.
Yeah, to show how to remove it.
He did that, Travis.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that again. Trust me, I made it now, boys. Man. It's a different Dave. I'm a different Dave. I don't do that kind of bull crap. I'm a serious journalist now.
Wow. For sure. Crazy, man. So I jammed a DT6 treble in my arm. I was thrown on the Chickahominy River during a tournament, DT6 along a weed edge, like a grass edge that dropped off, really small little creek, had some Phragmite. The bait caught some wind, went straight into the Phragmite. I yanked, pulled, it came shooting out, and I went boom, and it went twink. I tried to pull it out. I cannot believe how tough skin is. And then
that's a stretchy
skin. It was jammed right. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to pop the hook point through and clip it and be done with it. I could not push the hook through the other side of my skin. I had pliers. Finally, we did the line trick. I should have just started with that. Dude, it's crazy. Your skin is tough, man.
That's a bad spot to get it though. You want it somewhere where that's like getting stuck in your testicles. Very stretchy.
Yeah.
Very man. Your elbows. Oof. You ever notice how similar your elbows are? Well, no, let's not.
I do.
Hey, you got one in the New Gots before, bro?
No. But if we're going to talk battle and war wounds here, it's amazing how many hours we've all spent out fishing, and the fact that we don't get hooked as often, I think, blows
That's
my
true.
mind.
Yeah, very true.
I've only been hooked deep maybe 2 or 3 times in my whole life. The most recent, about 2 years ago, I was on a guide trip with a big whopper plopper. It's not even a cool story. I set it down, I moved over and sat on it, and basically it got lodged in my thigh. And here's the craziest part. So it was one of the bigger hooked ones, and it was deep, and I couldn't get it. Early in the guide trip, we just cut it and I fished with it. You know, it's not really a big deal, but I was concerned how I'm going to get this thing out. The guy I was guiding was actually a surgeon. And when we got back to the dock in his vehicle, he pulled out his little kit, a very professional kit, like he could probably do open heart surgery right there at the dock, and took care of it quickly. It was pretty nice. And he's like, well, I guess we'll call it even on the guide fees today, huh?
Oh,
did you laugh?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was easy. But now that the technique with the braid and being able to pull it up in the time of need, it's a little like, man, you're nervous. You're like, man, is this going to work? But it's perfect. Pops it out every time if you do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, very true, man.
I've only ever seen it fail. Like, it only fails if you're wimpy with it. Like, honestly, it's the only thing you have to commit to. Brute force and ignorance. Like, this is 100%. Not a time for finesse. You always pull on 2 and count to 3, and you rip as hard as you freaking can rip. Because if you, I don't ever want. I've 9 guys on the Elite Series I've ripped hooks out of.
Oh, really?
Wow. I mean, that's 1 a year almost. I've only been there 11 years. But like, yeah, you always want to. The worst thing would be to halfway do it, which it looks gross. It's horrible if you do it halfway. I've never been hooked bad, knock on wood. Wow. As weird as that is. Never ever had a really bad one.
The only time you did was when you did it yourself.
Yeah, that one was, well, not good.
Not good.
It hurts more when you do it yourself. I think it hurt more putting it in than taking it out, because
I would say
the worst time I ever got hooked, I'm in the Outer Banks. I caught my limit of Spanish mackerel. I'm admiring the sunset, all the actions on the south side of the pier. I'm the only guy on the rail on the north side of the pier. I've given some fish away to people who couldn't catch them, like bluefish, filling up coolers for people. Got my limit of Spanish. I'm happy. All of a sudden, I'm just leaning, watching the sunset. I'm like, this is a beautiful night. All of a sudden, boom, right on my left arm. I look down. I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's a brand new gotcha plug with gold hooks. It's a 1 ounce plug. And I'm going, who's that attached to? I look down the rails, nobody. I turn around and there's this lady reeling the reel upside down.
Oh boy.
Attached to the plug. I go, ma'am, I run towards her. I go, stop. It was brand new. She just bought it. And when she went to cast, she let go on the back cast and it hit my arm. So all these dudes are like, I could get that out with these pair of pliers, rusty pliers. I'm like, no, thank you. No, thank you. So when I turned my arm, I felt the hook in the tendon. So there would be no line trick. So had to roll to the ER, basically stopped into, we cut the plug off. So I just have a gold hook in my arm. Rolled into 7-Eleven, having some coffee. People are like, is that a gold? I'm like, yep. Rolled in, took a video of it. The guy popped it through, cut it off. Man, I was good to go. But crazy story. The lady was French. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I'll take you to the hospital. Please let me do something. I'll cook you croissants in the morning.
I don't think she was French.
That's not a good French accent. French Canadian? Maybe.
No,
I don't know.
Anyway, that's my hook story, man.
It's a good story.
Thank you.
I hooked a buddy of mine really bad once with a tube jig right there. Same deal. Meaty area. Bad place to get hooked right there. And
How did it happen?
What's that?
How did it happen? How'd you do it?
I set the hook, but there was no reason to set the hook evidently at the time. So said hook came flying like the Matrix. He wasn't near as quick as me, obviously, and it caught him in right there. So, but this was years ago. Like we were probably 20 at the time. And so we're in my boat, and I never, still to this day, I mean, I very rarely have good pliers and crap. I mean, it's always, for whatever reason, they're just always not good. But so he says, you got any pliers? And I'm like, yeah, I got some. And I go to pull them out, and you can't even pull the pliers apart, right? They're that rusty. Right. Like, I've been using them for a year and just putting the nose end and knocking the hooks out. Like, they don't open. So he's like, so I'm jamming with him, and he's like, "Is it bad? Is it bad?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's bad. Like it's through, and it's going to be hard to get through." So I'm messing with it, and as we're doing it, we're floating towards this dock, and I remember the guy's name was Stan, and the wife's name was Sheila, and because I met them both, so we're going towards this dock, and the guy, I think he's going to yell at me. But he's what's the problem? And I said, well, my buddy got hooked here. And he's like, no, you hooked your buddy. And I'm like, well, whatever. Never mind the logistics. So we pull up, and he says, he comes down to look, and he looks, and he's like, looks straight at him. He goes, oh, geez, I better get you boys a beer. So he walks right up to the top of the shed, comes back with a beer. So we're sitting there drinking beers, and I'm enjoying my beer. My buddy chugged his beer, took my beer, evidently didn't feel I had the right to a beer. So Buddy goes up to the shed to go searching for some cutters, right? And while this happens, Sheila comes wandering down the hill, and she's like, oh, dear, what's wrong? And she comes in the dock and said, well, I hooked my buddy, and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, Stanley, you better get these boys a beer. So Stanley comes out of the shed, and dude, he has owned, all they have is rose pruning shears, which cut like this. So I went to cut him, and his whole face like shifted to the side, but he chugged 4 beers and he was fine, and we got through it. But it was good. I mean, if in Canada, if you need beer, just hook yourself in the face, and old people give it to you.
I bet.
That's a crazy story. Gardening shears.
Weird story, but it's a story.
Very true.
One. It's a good one. Dave, how do you find the time, between the elites and filming? I know, like, it's now kind of a downtime for you, or not really? It is. Yeah.
I mean, this is about the only downtime in the season, really, to be honest, like the Christmas kind of break. And to be honest, that's kind of like the battle for anyone that makes a living fishing. Like, you spend the early part of your career fishing so much, so you get the opportunity to do some cool things. And then you spend the second part of your career just trying to get back to fishing. You know what I mean? Because you're so many things. So it's a constant battle, but it's something I'm trying to fix. To be honest, moving forward, I'm just trying to make sure I've got more time on the water, because I hate fishing. Makes me a different person. If I don't fish, I'm not that person. You know what I mean? Like, I think most people that fish understand that. And that's why when you marry a girl that doesn't want you to fish, and she says it's cool, and she doesn't really mean it's cool, it's never going to work, because fishing is not something you choose to do like softball. It's who you are, right? And so I need to spend more time on the water, but it is like it's a constant battle, right? Because you're always doing other things, but I just fit it in because you have to. You know what I mean? Like, to me, life's about living. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to do if you're not doing things. Like, when I'm not doing things, I just don't feel like myself. Like, I think that's a big part of you as a person. You need to be doing things, whether it's, I got to go on a podcast tonight, I got to do whatever, for whatever reason, that's the gratification that makes us all feel good. So to me, being busy is natural. I don't think I'll ever be a person that just kind of sits around.
Right on.
When you head out to an elite event, and weigh-in starts on a Thursday, are you getting there Wednesday? I mean, can you cut it close and do your thing? And
very close.
Right.
Surprisingly close some days.
Sure.
No, I generally get there the day before. Sometimes I get there the morning of, if it's, in certain situations, I've even missed the first morning, if travel happens or something, or I got to go somewhere. But generally, I don't get there too much before, because there's nothing to do, right? Like, you literally, the anglers stay in the water until the meeting, and then, they go to the meeting. Then I see them there. Now we don't have meetings, so I can get in later, which is nice. I like that.
I know you love what you do, and it shows when you're on stage. I just got to ask, is there moments that you have where you're nervous ever? Or is it just pretty natural at this point?
He's
Most of it's pretty natural. The only stuff I hate doing is politics. Like, and what I mean by that is like when there's a governor or somebody like that, because, and it's not because of that person. It's because that person is generally surrounded by a bunch of people that are literally just watching to make sure you say this, this, and this. And
that's not Dave Mercer.
No, I'm kind of.
That's not Dave Mercer.
If you tell me to say this and don't say this, my mind somehow mixes it all up, and
you say that
it ends up happening.
This. Right.
Yeah.
No, I can't. No, don't want to follow a script for sure, man. So
yeah. So, but other than that, I don't get nervous. Like I don't. I'm more comfortable in front of crowds than I am in front of less people. Always have been. Like,
how would you feel
one-on-one? I'm a train wreck. Put me in front of 10,000 people, and I can communicate a lot better.
How are you with like 1-on-2?
Yeah, well, this is okay. I mean,
okay, good. Just checking.
And there's a chance it'll grow. I mean,
okay,
crowd get bigger.
I sure hope so. So Dave, I have a serious question. So there's a group of people, I might be one of them, that has a real problem in the wintertime. You kind of walk in circles late at night in your house. You log on to fishing sites and you buy lures you don't need. And so somebody asked on the stream, would you be willing potentially to be involved in Lures Aholics Anonymous? Lureaholics Anonymous.
Okay. And how does this work? We go to meetings?
I think maybe we have to have meetings. There's a group of dudes that can't stop buying lures. I might be one. I'm not sure, but I think I am.
Well, why do you want me to be part of this group?
I don't know, man. It's a cry for help.
I feel like this is a comedic routine that hasn't been fully worked out.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Hey, I'll be part of your group. I'd actually like you to explain this group to me before we go any further, because I don't really know.
Neither
what
do
this
I.
Is. I love it. I mean, I tune in. I tune in quite regularly. I think you'd be shocked if you know how often I tune in. But
you tune in.
Sometimes I'm getting the freaking. Sometimes it's an auction for a pack of.
That's him.
Well, do you guys make big bucks with this? Are we going to find out?
No, Dave, here's the truth about my problem is
wait a minute. You get into the lure part or the auction problem part?
The auction problem part. And
okay, let's talk about that. It
kind of goes into the lure problem, but I buy a bunch of stuff, which I don't use, and then I need to make space because I like to keep things nice and organized. And
OCD in parentheses.
And when I can't fit another swim bait on the shelf, I realize, well, I don't really use these swim baits. So I take them down and I put them to the auction. And we normally do it, once or twice a year. And yes, I make money. But listen, I spent 10 grand retail on that stuff and I made $6 that night. So did I really make money? No, I just recovered a little bit.
But you got mentally healthy by doing it, right?
I did, but I'm back at it again feel better. This week. Dude.
I know. Me too, bro. Here's the problem, Dave. 52 podcasts for this guy talking to anglers like you and a lot of other really excellent anglers, and they all have great things that they use.
They all have their own little baits,
their own little secrets and things like that. So Travis is now saucing and marinating lures for 6 months, amongst a host of other things, and some of that
putting
stuff.
Little eyeballs on my.
I asked Kumi to put mine in the machine and make them for me. I didn't. I don't try to self bake. Okay, I don't watch his thing.
That's smart.
He makes the right product. He is bringing me a satchel full.
Smart.
I think.
So you've been in the fishing game a while. Do you dial into any of this? Like, meaning, do you get influenced by all the pros you're around, the techniques that you see? You're emceeing in events. You see somebody employ something incredible, and you go, "Do you have that bone in your body, or do all fishermen have that bone? I've got to do it." Because there are some that resist. I'm not one of them.
Who resists? I don't know. I mean, that's part of this industry, right? It's the next big thing. And it's also because we've all experienced it. You know what I mean? Like, because here's the honest truth.
Yeah.
This isn't a joke where we're like searching for this magic lure, because we've all had magic lures are just magic moments. You know what I mean? Like, if you had it, if you, like we were talking about, the marabou jig earlier, that jig. I mean, if you had that early, It was
That's-
magic. If
Yeah.
you used power bait before anyone, it was magic. If you used gulp initially, it was magic. Max scent is magic. So
For sure.
you do search for these things, but they exist. But damn, it's like it's an evil drug because you've got to buy a lot of crap to find a little bit of magic every once in a while.
It's very true. I was on the river, Potomac River, with Glenn Peacock, and he brought out, and I had a bag of power worms, and so did he when they first came out. And we were behind Hog Island. I don't mind telling everybody those fish are gone. I don't know what happened to that area, but I literally have never had a bag like that for the rest of my life fishing that river, and neither did he. And he looked at me and he goes, let me tell you something. I'm going to write about this in the Washington Post in my fishing column. If you like these red shad power worms, you better go buy every bag because they'll all be gone after they read this. We literally caught 5, 6, 7s, and 8s that day.
Wow.
And we're broke off a couple of times. It was astonishing how the fish reacted. Was it the power bait? Or was it the moment that a big group of fish pulled up? I don't know. But I got to tell you, power bait was money and magic. It seemed like for the first whatever it was. You're right.
I'm curious. I'm
bait.
curious in the comments. One of my favorite scents of all time, besides cut grass, freshly cut grass, would be the smell of power bait. I will open that bag.
You do love
and
that.
I love it. Are you
it's
guys,
like a baseball player's fresh cut grass.
Do you
right?
like that smell, Dave?
Yeah. I mean, especially nowadays, I love power bait. It smells great.
It smells like victory. It could be that Robert. Could you do that Duvall scene from Apocalypse Now? It smells like victory.
It is. Well, I mean, I think certain smells you associate with things, and I get that. But I will say I don't like to shove my face in the bag. Like I'm not going to take the whole
Travis does.
Hold on, we'll go foot. I'm more of a like if you hit it double, if you go full bag, never go full bag.
Don't do that.
There's too much. It's too much. I like a whiffing. It's like colonia or perfume. I mean, you spray and walk through. You don't spray on. If you spray on, I'm gonna feel it in my eyes. And that's where I'm at with power bait, I think.
Very true. Very true. Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the only one. That's fine.
No, it's just different. I mean, dude, you think we're all the same? That's the world is full of different people. And
it is.
Oh, Travis, for sure. Me and him.
How did you two? Well, wait a second. How did this epic Eric and Travis, who hasn't embraced his name, he is SmallmouthCrush, I guess. He's not Travis. I will call you by. So, how did SmallmouthCrush and Epic Eric come together?
So a buddy of ours, Travis, was in business with this guy named Jack Rinkers, and we all used to fish derbies, team derbies on the Upper Bay.
Derb crew, right on, man. From Germany, just so you know. No joke.
No way. That's so cool.
100% true.
That's crazy. So Jack Rinkers and I ended up fishing some tournaments, and my son Max had a lacrosse tournament up in upstate New York. And Jack was like, "You're going up to upstate. Travis is up there practicing." I go, "I'd love to fish Lake Champlain. Maybe Travis will take you out for a half day." And that's how we really connected. So, and after that, Travis, he liked my lures. And so he saw that I had a little game and thought maybe I could teach him a few things about cranking. So we went out and shot some vids, and the rest is history.
Rest is history. It's nice. It's nice. I think you guys complement each other very well.
Thank you.
It is, because he's very obviously detail oriented. He can tell you when, that bait and when the plastic, if it was poured at this warehouse and, in Japan or, all this stuff. Where me, I'm pretty basic. I like to use stuff that works. As much stuff as I have, I still, like we were talking on the podcast, green pumpkin party, green pumpkin goby, green pumpkin purple.
As long as you can throw it on a spinning rod, Travis is good.
And that's
if it's a net or a drop shot.
I like to keep it simple.
Show's over, guys. We had this argument way early in the podcast. Travis was like, "You don't need all that stuff." I'm like, "Well, dude, how interesting is a podcast going to be if that's all we're talking about is drop shot and netting?" Show's over, guys. Just throw a green pumpkin Ned, trick worm, or Senko, and
you're good.
And you're good. And a DT6 show's over. So
why do you think he's selling all this crap?
Exactly.
He only uses those two, and he's selling the rest.
No, part of the magic for me of fishing is, man, discovering new baits, the hunt for something different. That's why I dove deep into JDM. And I've told a bunch of stories on the stream about little magic moments and magic baits. And one was with Pete Gluzik. It was about a chatterbait. It was JDM. Nobody had it in America. I had it all to myself. It hunts. It's not the jackhammer. It's not any chatterbait you've ever seen. And, you know, Pete, I wrecked him all day. He was using a Z-Man. He goes, give me your rod and reel right now, because he couldn't take it anymore. I gave it to him, and in 250 yards, he caught 3 over 3. And we looked at each other. We go, sometimes it is the bait. And there's a lot of anecdotal stories like that throughout my career. And that's what makes it fun for me. So it would be boring to me if you said, here's your 3 spinning rods and your 4 bait casters, and this is what you're relegated to. I'd go, hey, dude, I'm out. I'm done, because there's no creation. If I'm creating like that, you know, taking my nail polishes and trying to do a little tribute crankbait to Aaron Martin's, that's Aaron Martin's Morning Dawn in a crankbait. And I'm like, that fires me up, because I found something. Or tying a jig and a shaky worm together. So I call it the shaky jig worm. I love that stuff. This is the lab. This is the crazy part of me. It's chaos. It's a fucking wreck. It's the only time in my life I can escape from corporate responsibility in life, decompress, and just try to make something different that's going to give me a little bit of an edge, whether it's a little brush of nail polish down the side of a crankbait. Before Lucky Craft had their crack color, I was trying to reproduce it with Sally Hansen. I did it. It seemed to outperform other baits. Same bait, same boat, same dudes, same line, same gear ratio. You can't duplicate it. And it's like matching the hatch in bass fishing. I got a million stories like that. That's what I believe, but that's what gets me fired up. So nobody else has to believe it. That's okay. Keep it simple or keep it complex. Either way is right if it works for you. That's all.
You know what I love? I find it so cool how certain baits, like, I don't even mean like that exact bait, but like a certain one of them. So you take a wall of 10 of the same bait, but there's like every once in a while you come across that bait that just
very true.
And you can't see it. Like you spent hours looking in a pool in Clearwater, whatever, on slow-mo video, and you're like, it's doing nothing different, but it is clearly different. That to me amazes me, like how that happens.
The Japanese really fascinate me, and in particular the lure designers, because I think they think about that and try to build it into a bait. And the best example I can think of is the Imakatsu Wattle Bat. I found like the god particle in bass fishing for cranking is hunting action. They say, look, there are great crankbaits that track straight, that just, you know, deflect off covered trigger strikes. But there are baits that hunt. Some plastic baits do it, you don't know why. And some wood baits do it, you don't know why. 2 out of 10 will do it. 3 out of 10. Some bait makers say they could build it in. But the Japanese used a blade on a crankbait to build in hunting action. And the first day I took it out, it was unbelievable. My buddy's throwing his trusty bait that he had for 25 years. We're going down to Shallowwood Bank of Virginia on my Potomac River. The fish are on the wood. It was post-spawn. And literally, I was in the back of the boat. He's in the front. He's the best cranker I know, one of them. Bob Cherry's his name. And I literally caught every bass. I caught every bass behind him. He was taking the prime lies, you know, the V of the log, the fat part of the log, you know, there was low tide. So the deeper part of the log, that is the last piece in the water, no bite. I will wheel that bait by it, be hunting, little blades flashing on the bottom of it. And it waddles like it's like a bat coming through the water. Now you can't overpower the crankbait. Went down one stretch. I caught him, came back. I put the bigger version on, caught more and 3 snakeheads. And we looked at each other and going, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. But that's the magic moment of a JDM designer building in hunting action, because they thought about putting a blade, and a very unique cup-shaped blade, on the back hook hanger. Nuts to me. That's cool stuff. That's cool as shit in my book.
It is.
And I found it because I was doing a YouTube search and watching a video, and I don't understand a fucking word, but I'm looking at the, I say fuck too much. And I'm looking at the, you know, the bait, like swimming in the water like this. I'm like, what is that? And then I saw it in the description, search it on YouTube, find it on eBay, buy it, fish it, share it. And man, it still catches the fire out of them. Now it's fairly well known throughout the, you know, bass nut market of JDM tackle. So anyway, I had it for years though, to myself. Fun. I don't know. That's my game, Dave.
I'm intrigued by it. I like it. And I wonder how those Japanese baits, they're that way, in my opinion, because they have to be. Because
No
there's
pressure.
so much pressure on a lot of, like, if you watch Takumi Ito fish, smallmouth matches a lot of that finesse game, number one.
Right.
But it's also like, if you look what he did at the Sabine River, he did things that nobody else would ever do. 20-minute casts. But when you talk to him, he's like, we do that because
can you imagine
one spot and you're, and it's going to be fished by somebody else the next day. So he just sits there and
shake it.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Nuts. That's the dead of the dead sticking technique. 20 minutes. That's nuts.
Oh,
I missed that.
In the tournament, he did that. Yeah. Like in the tournament.
Crazy.
Yeah. If you looked, it was 10-minute casts. A lot of times he cast it under and just sit there and slowly work it back. And he's like, the fish will come.
Wow.
But you can't. That's, if I told you to do that, you would do 3 of those 10-minute casts. 3 I'd give you, most people. And if you don't get one,
we're out.
You're out.
That's crazy. But that's born on faith and experience. Wow. In a different body of water. Maybe that's why they design the way that they do, right, for pressured fish. So they come.
You're forced to do it. You know what I mean?
True. Interesting. Good stuff, man.
Very good stuff. Listen, I'm going to bring Alex in real quick to say hi to everybody.
Yo. How's it going? Got a lot of people in here tonight, guys. We appreciate everyone hanging out. Everybody's had some funny
record
comments,
numbers.
Great questions.
Gotta be Dave. Thank you, Dave.
Wow.
Gotta be.
Wow.
Nice.
You bet that you're cleanup batter, bro. You're batting number 4 for 2021 is all I gotta say.
That's right.
Number 4?
Right.
Cleanup, brother.
Oh, okay.
You ain't the leadoff. You clean up. Number
You
4 is the
notice
home run.
Restaurants when they sell potato skins, it's always 4.
No.
4 skins. It's weird.
That's weird. I used to work.
Hey, it was Alex. Sorry,
and we put
how are you doing?
No, he's
good,
AI. AI. Nope, it didn't catch on, Alex. I tried for you, man.
That's
We were
okay,
thinking, maybe Dave has a good
eye.
AI. That's what
AI,
we came up with.
Alan Iverson.
Yep.
You look nothing like him.
No, it was artificial intelligence.
I know. I just got to get the dreads done, Dave, and then I might look a little more like it. Get the cornrows going.
He's got Zal Dangerous going for the vibe,
A little bit.
the stash.
Hey, by the way, did you guys see Chris's latest epic smallmouth video?
Yeah,
pretty freaking nasty.
Great.
Oh my god, that got me going.
That was good.
Really, really good.
Travis, really good. Is it frozen up there already? Is it too cold to go fishing up there? Or you?
No, my boat's still in the shop right now, waiting on a part. So once that, it'll probably be too late.
Will caught like 141 walleye and didn't even throw for a smallmouth. He said it was off the chain.
Oh my gosh, Dave, what about up by you? Is it frozen up there yet, or are you guys still?
It's starting to freeze, but we actually had like crazy. Something happened to our lake this past weekend that I've never seen happen. The lake was froze last week. It had been frozen for probably 8 days at that time. We had mega wind here. That storm rolled through here this past weekend. The lake opened up in 45 minutes. It was wild. It was warm through the day. So you know how you get like puddles on the lake and stuff? Well, then the wind blasted and it was literally like one little spot opened and the water blew across the ice. Like I watched it happen, and in 45 minutes, all the ice was gone, like the entire lake, because once the water got above it, it just kept white capping and blowing, and the ice just sunk. So yeah, the ice is gone now. We're ice out. Ice happened for us.
I saw some incredible footage. I belong to a group. I think it's Thousand Island River Rats or something on Facebook. Anyways, they post a lot of pictures, and if you look in Clayton, in the river, the surge and the wind that was coming up along that break wall was insane, man. I thought
that's crazy.
I thought that BFL out there 2 years ago was bad. That was nothing. That place.
I saw some still pictures. It was crazy. Did you say river rats, Travis?
Yes.
Did you say river rats?
I did say river rats. I know you love that term.
What's he got?
Not only do I love it, but we built it, baby.
Shirts.
How do you like that? Yeah, man. Live.
I'll give $4.
You got
this is the auction.
That's
Sorry.
auction. Dave, yes,
Sorry.
go start the bidding at 4. Dave Mercer opens up at 4. Who's going to beat him?
$4.
And I'll throw in some stickers, Dave. Come on, everybody, keep going.
Nobody
We're
else
trying.
wants it.
We're
$4.
trying.
It's mine.
Dave, you
Matt,
will.
this is $4 Canadian.
Here's why I don't.
love it.
Here's
Send
why I
me
don't
your
like.
address, Dave, on Instagram. We're good.
Here's why I don't like river rats, because me being from Wisconsin, it used to mean like a backwater, you know, a muskrat trapper, someone that like lived in a little log house, or you know.
Travis, you're from Wisconsin. You don't understand the term river rats. We've
To
had this argument
disrespect the
before.
St. Lawrence River
actually,
and calling those people that live on the river river rats. That's not a river.
no,
rat.
there are
What?
guys that actually pride themselves in being a river rat. If
Yes.
you understand river fishermen, it's a badge of honor. They give that to themselves by saying, "I'm a river rat. I'm shallow. I'm dirt deep."
Shallow, not
That's
St.
right.
Lawrence. That's my only problem. I'm saying is I don't like the people up on the St. Lawrence River referring to themselves as river rats.
Well, I'll say this about that. You're moving up there. Did you guys
Well.
hear that? St. Lawrence River? Travis doesn't like you saying it, so you are no longer a river rat. Welcome to New York, Travis. Watch your back.
Yeah.
I have no problem with rivers nor rats.
Good job, Dave. That's the way to be neutral. Very
Oh,
political
man.
statement right there. Very smart, savvy.
Just wanted to clear that up in case
Yes,
I got
excellent.
thrown in the mix.
No affiliation.
All right, Dave. What are you looking forward to the most as far as events for the Elite Series this year? Is there a particular town or
good
region
question.
that you just love? Or I was always curious. You know, there's the fans of, say, Toledo Bend or that area compared to the St. Lawrence fan. What's your thoughts on that?
I generally tell the crowd that I'm in front of that they're my favorite.
Right, you know that.
Usually my approach.
Yeah.
This is his favorite podcast too, Travis.
You heard that earlier, didn't you? Before
Now
it
we
even
know.
started, I told you guys this is my favorite because I have a little check. I did it because my
Yep,
wife
he
will be
did
like,
it.
you kissed their ass, right? You told them it
Oh,
was
man.
a really.
That's a good
No.
one, man. Oh, damn. I thought he was
But
serious.
sorry, I'm going to get serious and answer a question.
Yes,
I promise.
yes.
I'm looking forward to the St. John's River. To be honest, that place has always been special to me, and it's weird. The fishery is kind of up and down, and the grass is here and it's not here, and that sort of thing. But what that place did for bass, and what that place did for all of us, that nobody even understands. Because you know what? There were a few years ago. I mean, if you really look at be totally honest, I mean, we were told there's nobody going to show up. These guys aren't even going to catch a bass. You know what I mean? Not one
Wow.
bass, and no fans will show up and no nothing. And you don't believe that, but you hear so much of it. And when we went to the St. John's River to see the welcoming and to see the overpouring of fans that came out there, like it was our biggest crowd ever. There was no reason for it to be our biggest crowd ever at the St. John's River, but it was. And that was just, to me, the bass world speaking. You know what I
That's
mean?
cool.
And so to me, that place will always have a special. Like every one of them does have a special. You know, those repeat locations like Toledo Bend and any of them, you know what I mean? Like where we're going for the classic, you know what I mean? We've been several times. So
Yeah.
the negative of that is in your head, you're like, well, we've been here before, but the positive is, I mean, you've got great relationships with people like Neil Paul and all these different people you're used to dealing with. And you really do feel like part of the community. So I would say definitely looking forward. I mean, of all of them, the St. Lawrence River intrigues me the most just because we're never going to go to Buffalo where I wish we would go.
Right.
But it's the closest to me. You know what I mean? Like you're more intimate with it. I love seeing what you learn and stuff. And I love that crowd, but definitely St. John's River special. All of them are special. The end of my answer.
Fair enough.
Very
fair
good.
enough.
I think I'm
Yeah.
trying to
Very
get
good, very
quicker.
good.
I'm trying to be more precise with my answers.
Yes,
I'm working
yes.
on that.
What I found interesting when we were talking on the podcast, I asked Dave if there's any place he could fish for smallmouth, where that would be. And where you're located now, you mentioned you're close to pretty much every major fish factory there is up there, and you chose the eastern basin of Lake Erie, which I wish I had more time up there. It is a fish factory. If you're looking for more 4 and 5 pound smallmouth, I think, than any of the Great Lakes, I think Lake Erie is the place to be for sure.
How about that?
Fascinates. And there's so many good anglers that come out of that region as well. Because it's such a diverse fishery, there's so much going on, let alone you have a river system like you do Detroit or St. Clair. You still have the Niagara River, and then it flows into Lake Ontario. I suspect, and what I'm learning as well, is there's a pretty heavy fish population on that western part of Ontario too.
Oh, yeah.
Getting overlooked, which I would love to. There's so much to do, not enough time.
It's true.
How many times, Eric, have we tried to get over to Erie? How many times do we try to get over to Erie, and then we end up going up to Ontario?
Ontario, same old tired place.
Which I don't mind. No.
St. Vincent, man. Eat at that same damn restaurant.
I love that place.
By the way. I do too. The Bad Apple Bin, man.
I'd run that town, dude. I'd run Cape Vincent. I run the whole thing.
You're the mayor.
Pretty
of
much
Cape
the
Vincent
mayor.
now?
Yeah. I'm just saying.
And don't call them river rats.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's Travis's first act as mayor. No one's allowed to say that.
No one's. I ban the word river rat. This is a lake. You can't be a river rat on a lake.
And
listen, there's these girls I follow that are the Havasu river rats, and I'll tell you, they are not rivers nor rats.
River rat.
Yeah, well, Dave, what was the name of that page one more time?
Havasu river rats, I believe it is.
Okay.
Anything with Havasu in it, really, it's either Dean Rojas or a really good-looking girls, one or the other.
Fair enough.
Or a giant bluegill. I know.
They got giants.
Do they?
Yeah, when we were there for the
6
tournament,
pounds.
we were supposed to fish for them one night after weighing, and then there was a giant storm, and we couldn't go, so it kind of sucked. But I want to catch those. Those things are giant.
I can't even imagine what a 6 pound bluegill would look like.
We thought they were bass when we saw them first. Me and Overstreet. I'm like, dude, there's a bass right there. He's like, you're bedding, man. We realized, they're bluegill.
They're bluegill. That's crazy. So I was at a pond, the Slab Lab, with Sarah the Closer Parvin down in Alabama, and she thinks she's going to have the next world record pure strain copper nose bluegill. She caught a 3.5 pounder last year.
That's
What's
legit.
the world record for that specific?
How do you know the different strains?
That's my next question.
It can be tested. Like,
Okay.
they know the genes of a pure strain copper nose versus like a hybrid.
We're still talking about fish.
I don't know. I'm just writing down here some other rules for Cape Vincent. So no fishing within 100 yards of the ferry dock. What else?
Travis, what are you doing right now?
Oh, I'm sorry. Nothing.
I'm sorry.
100 yards to the what?
I said no fishing within 100 yards of the ferry dock. I was just pretending I was daydreaming. I was the mayor of Cape Vincent. I was setting rules for the St. Lawrence River.
So, Travis, what would the minimum jail time be for someone that fished on your rocks like JP did?
Yeah. So
3 years?
Know. Yeah. And stay off a buoy marker 128.
Why'd you say that?
Because it's not 128.
I get it.
Okay.
That's awesome.
All the buoys have fish, just so you know.
Yes.
Some have more than others. Depends on what you put down there.
Oh,
it's true. It's true.
Dave, what is your
I do a lot
opinion?
of snorkeling, a lot of diving too.
What is your opinion on planting things and then fishing things?
Depends if it's legal or not.
Well,
Planting
is it legal?
like
Is it legal? Yes. Is it legal in most states to plant fish habitat?
It is not legal in all states. I know that.
True.
And it's not legal in most of this country. A lot of stuff's not legal. But one thing is, weirdly enough, but I'm okay with it if it's legal. I mean, to me, it doesn't really, you're making the lake better. You know what I mean? Like you're helping the resource. If you're doing it right, I mean,
right.
We just talked about Havasu. One of the major reasons that lake is as successful as it is because they plant those spawning, like those PVC spawning structures and things like that. So as long as you're doing it right, I'm all for it. I think.
I got it.
Derek, if you want to dump 20 used toilet bowls in a 10x10 area, more than welcome to.
No, all I'm asking is that if it's not legal and you're doing it and then you win off of it, is that respected in the bass community?
I don't
Here's
think
my
it
hard.
is.
Here's the hard lesson I learned early on in club tournament fishing. So Dave, it's a March tournament. Potomac
Okay.
has just experienced a 100-year flood. Just got back into bass fishing. I'm in the Skeeter Owners Club, and I'm the only Ranger boat owner. This may have been the problem.
Okay.
So we launch with historic floods. There's shit everywhere in the river. So dangerous, first of all. My boat compartments are frozen. People race to one place, Blue Plains. It's the warm water sewage treatment plant coming out in the, above the Wilson Bridge. Apparently, one guy was crafty and had built a 2x4 structure and put it under one of the dock's systems. And it was pretty healthy, plus some other stuff. He said he had his limit in like 10 minutes and he won. And I'm like, and you're proud of that? This was in the club meeting. And this was the senior angler in the group. And I'm like, well, I'm out there trying to find natural habitat to fish. And I said, you're proud of that? It's kind of like knowing the answers to a quiz before you get there. And silence went over because we're all hanging around the boat. And I probably spoke out of turn. Now, I was rookie of the year. He was number one. I got second place. And I had to be an observer for him for Mr. Bass. So I got my comeuppance. But I learned to myself, I'm like, damn, is that how you have to win right now? This is before live scope. So he knew the location. He put it there. He improved it. And it was that easy to catch that big bag. And I'm like, damn, it hurt a little bit. I don't know. So that's all I'm saying. I just wondered what people that bass fish, you've tournament fished, Travis. Alex, you tournament fish. Dave, you've tournament fished in your life. Maybe you guys have planted stuff. Maybe you've not. I'm not asking for a confession. I'm just asking your opinion.
If I'd have planted more stuff, I probably wouldn't be a tournament MC.
So there it is. There are anglers that have that are winning gads of money on the regional level by planting cane. And I don't know if it's legal in South Carolina or North Carolina, but they're winning left and right. And they're live scoping it, and they're seeing every fish they catch, and they're going straight to their structure. And people that fish natural literally have a hard time competing. You're donating at that point. They're always in the top 5. And I'm talking on a regional level, 40, 50, 60,000 in a year. It's blowing me away. I'm going, damn. What now? What do you got to do now?
That's where it always happens, though, on a regional level. Like that, because that can't be duplicated on a national level. You got to go to too many different bodies of water. That's
right.
And I always say that, like when people are like, who do you need to be most suspect of? It's always the regional level guy that is cashing in. That came out of nowhere. Generally, all of a sudden, I have no sponsors. I loved bowling my whole life, and I just learned how to fish, and wow, I'm good at it.
But I know where 300 cane piles are.
I mean, and the honest truth is, people will rob a 7-Eleven for $500. It says the sticker. They only carry $500 in that till, but they will rob it. You don't think that there's people that cheat in tournaments? I'm sure there is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there is any that cheat in top level tournaments because it's just, you're going to get busted. But but they do on the way up.
Yeah. Interesting, man. It's a crazy sport. I just wondered what everybody's opinion was. It was like, got back into fishing, planted structure, and it is dominating today on the regional scene, man. Dominating. Because you've got now Panoptics. So you can see the structure you've planted if fish are using it, and you're throwing to them. And this is mostly on herring lakes. It's incredible. It's incredible.
I agree.
Fascinating stuff.
Panoptics
anyway,
going to change fishing.
It did already.
Like it already has, but I mean like big time. Down the road, it's the only thing that I think live sonar is totally different than anything else we've ever dealt with. You know what I mean? Like you learn every single cast. You know what I mean from it.
I fish with Travis. He's on the front looking at the Panoptics, and I'm on the back just fishing in the middle of nowhere. He goes, I go, you see something, Travis? He goes, I'll let you know. And meanwhile, he's fucking fishing for a fish, that motherfucker. I'll tell you what. But I hold my own on the back of your boat. You know it.
You do all right. You do all right.
Damn right I do.
Dave, we got a couple questions in the chat. They want to know what's your favorite or discontinued lure that they don't make anymore.
Great question.
Can you think of anything?
Well, let's get a category. Crankbait.
Well, there's
I'm just trying.
I'm just asking what they just want to know.
That's a great question. I love it.
I
think it's awesome. I'm fascinated. I'm staying on.
There is this is a weird lure. It's a Spro Aruku shad. And which is an incredible Thousand Islands bait, just so you know. And there's a particular color. I don't know the color, but they don't make just like every bait. Every bait with the best color, they stop making it. I don't know what that is, but it's like every bait in the world. Whenever and there's this color that they have that I have like a little sleeve of them. That's how good it is, and it's just that one color. And I'm not going to tell you what the color is.
Come on,
I don't know what the name of the color is. I'll find it for you, and I'll tweet it or something. I don't know.
Of course, you don't know the color, Dave.
Convenient.
Alex, would you hook him up to the lie detector voice interpreter right now, please? Dave,
please do.
Speaking. What is your name? This is the baseline.
What was that code I was supposed to give you, Travis, when I had enough of this bull crap?
What's the safe word? I gotta take a crap. The heat. It's the heat, Dave. It gets intense here, man.
I don't know the name of the color, but it's like it's got
fair.
a perch. It's like a brownish gold, a bronzish perch look to it. Like it's a perch stripes, but it did. I'll send you. I mean, I'm not hiding it. If they don't make it, it's just. I mean, why would you ask
Cut the guys some slack.
They don't make anymore? Okay, how am I supposed to help my sponsors out? I mean, I'm on here to sell a couple of books or something.
There you go. There you go.
You have a. We got a guy, TK Stanley at Tacklecraft, that can paint that exact color.
There you go.
Oh, yes.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Unless they change the plastic formulation of the Uruku shad, and that's now we're talking. Don't think they have, though.
I don't know if they have, but it's that one color, and they blast it. It's a weird, and that's again another thing. And it's not a color it's not the first color I fished in that bait. Like, you know, it was just over time. People were like, "You ever tried this?" It's one of those things that
crazy.
But yeah,
interesting.
That wasn't a very tough question. Give me something tougher.
Oh,
you got anything? Anything?
We got.
I'll answer anything.
Who's your favorite pro angler?
Oh, that's a good one.
They all are.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're not all. Not all of them.
All right, coming up, did you have a hero, or who's turned out to be like, who was your hero in fishing, man? Everybody had when they were a kid.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was Denny Brower. Brower,
man, cool.
Rick Clun. I like, you know, but Denny Brower for sure was my, you know, and I mean, Denny Brower. Denny Brower. I mean, that's one of the reasons that I ended up, weirdly enough, staying with bass.
Wow. Why?
And it happened in an interview because somebody said to me that question. They asked me that exact question. I started thinking, of who my favorite pro was growing up. And I was like, well, wait a second. There was, for a while, I was really into Hank Parker. And then it was Denny Brower. And then it was Kevin. And then it was, and that's when I realized it's not a person. You know what I mean? Like, I loved every single time I got to announce a Kevin Van Dam tournament victory. I loved every moment of them. But that's how bass works. You know what I mean? Like that's was the moment when I realized that it's not about one person. It's not about a group of people. It's about that trophy that we've followed and chased for all these years. And I love the people that chase that trophy. And to me, they're the heroes of the sport.
Right on. That's not an easy profession, man. I was inspired to write like a 2-page thing about bass fishing and how hard of a sport it is because of the variables. There's nothing like it. There's no professional sport like it. You can have amateur interference. You can have recreational interference. I mean, when they had amateurs on the backs of boats, I mean, you know, somebody casting to a fish that missed a buzz bait and they throw their old Norman crankbait in and catch your 4-pounder. Happened to me in a tournament. Anyway, you get the concept, right? There's nothing like it. Mechanical failures. I mean, it's just nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Nothing like the field of play changes, right?
And you got to talk during it. Think about that. No other sport are you mic'd up and expected to talk about what you're doing and everything while you're doing it. It's
right.
You know, people get pissed off if they interview the coach in the dugout for too long in between innings.
There's nothing like it, man. The rigors of traveling and you're driving yourself 9 times out of 10. Mechanical issues, boat failure, engine, trolling motor, electronics, gear, line. There's so many things on the line. You got a bat and a ball in baseball. You got a football that you might deflate a little bit, but you know, when it's raining. But I mean, other than that, I mean, are you kidding me? Travis, you have no clue what I'm talking about.
I know.
Anyway.
I follow a little sport here and there. Come on.
Don't even lie. That's
All
the
right.
biggest fucking. That's the
You
biggest lie
call
you've
it
ever told.
sport.
I know who Brett Favre
I
is.
could follow a little sport here and there. You proved it right there.
I know who Brett Favre is. You're a cheesehead. You're a fan. Nah.
Listen, Dave, I got a question for you. How often with everything being live and kind of knowing weights and whatnot, do you know 9 times out of 10 who that winner is going to be that day when you're up there on stage? Do you have a pretty good feel?
I most often don't, to be honest, and that's generally on purpose, because I want my reaction to be real. You know what I mean? I want my reaction, like, think of moments like when Edwin Evers had that giant bag and won the Classic. I had no idea. Like, I knew he had a big bag because there was rumors of his, you know, what he had caught and the guy that talked to Christie and whatever. But I had no idea it was 29 pounds. And if I had known it was 29 pounds, I'd be all like, oh, this big bag's coming. But I had no idea. And so when those 29 pounds, I think it was 29 pounds, 3 ounces, popped up on the stage, like as soon as I saw that, my reaction was legit, you know?
Sure.
So I try not to know who's going to win most of the time, because it's legit, and it actually makes it more fun for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
When Jordan Lee won in Texas, when he won that Classic, I thought there was me and him joked the whole way through that way, and that there's no way you're going to win, but it's cool to hang out up here. You know what I mean? Like, because there was 14 guys that were ahead of him. Like, it wasn't what Jordan did. It was like somebody was going to catch him. So that's why when he did win, it was, I think, genuine. You know what I mean? And that's when I did the unbelievable. And if you really listen to that weigh-in, the first time I say it, I don't say it I'm like, you can hear me saying it to like putting it together in my head. Like, I didn't think of, if Jordan wins, I'm going to say unbelievable. Like, I did not think of that, and I started saying, because it was unbelievable. So I started saying unbelievable, and you can hear the way I say it the first time that I'm putting it together in my head. And then I'm like, holy shit. Whatever it became. Right. But it's just, it's really natural. I mean, it puts you in weird spots sometimes, but I try to be natural.
Yeah. Yeah. Dave's the only guy that can say the same line over and over and sound cool and get you fired up. There you go.
Well, I could show you some emails from some people who disagree, my friend, but I appreciate that. And let me address one of the, you know, sometimes I'll get razzed because people will be like, you said that 4 times in a row, unbelievable, or something like that.
Right.
And what people don't understand is there's a person in my ear telling me we need to say it this way, include the sponsor now. Don't it? You know what I mean? Like, we need another clean shot, or something happened when you said it. So it's, you're trying to get a line for them to grab. So a lot of times when things get repeated, that's why you hear that.
Who knew? I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing that, man.
Yeah. And also don't say boom shakalaka near as much as it sounds like when you tune into a show. Damn, do they play that a lot?
Hey, I got a question for you, Dave. And this is really, I don't know, Travis, we have time for one more question. This may be
one more, and then we got to let Dave go. He's got lots of time.
I'm good. I like this. I like this podcast. You're better than others.
All right, man. All right. This is serious. This involves my host.
I'm sticking around until Brian the Carpenter shows up. I got a beef to pick with him.
You should. I'd like to see that live.
That'd be a good clip.
All right. You know Travis a little bit. You were on his podcast. You saw his questions. Is there a reason that he can't beat those dang Johnston brothers or any Canadian angler? What is his MO?
Okay. Time out. First of all, I beat him plenty of times. Eric.
Travis, that wasn't a serious question. Travis, this is a joke question.
For Travis.
It was that you really think he would not answer that question? First of all, it was supposed to be funny. You didn't let it marinate, man.
It was funny.
You didn't laugh.
This is getting awkward. I was
never
on
mind.
like this
Never
once.
mind, Dave. You'll win the big one, Travis. You'll punch through. You will, and you'll beat those Johnstons on the big stage one day. You'll do it. Mm-hmm. You just think like a Canadian,
right?
Dang it!
Wow.
What did you have a question? AI, get the hell out of here. Let me just give you a tip, okay?
Let's hear it.
Wrap yourself up in that little Bass airbrushed blanket and get the hell out of here.
Now we're
Okay?
talking.
Oh, he's wanted
You're
to
better
believe you believe me. Oh, he already has. They hired him at Bass U.
Come on.
He's paid. He's unpaid here. He's
I
paid
see
over
he's
there.
got a little bit of subtle, little bit of
Yeah.
just sliding the orange in there.
Yeah, they
No,
do that
he
here.
is-
They do that.
Yeah. Well,
Speaking.
yeah. Alex.
you got another
Alex knows
announcement?
Well, Alex does.
No, I was just gonna do a shameless plug, but we'll do that when BTC gets on.
I see him lurking down the bottom. I'm nervous to bring him in now.
Why?
Because you got to work out a beef with him, Dave.
Well, there he is, BTC. Get him quick while he's still sober.
Tin
Sorry.
Cup.
Too late.
You made it.
Too late.
What up?
B to the T to the
Welcome,
C.
BTC.
What's up, guys? What's cracking?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I was enjoying listening to you guys tonight.
It was a good show, man. I enjoyed this one. What else can I say? I mean, got
No,
roasted a few times.
it's usually where it takes a turn, right?
It at some point in the night, it does go south. It always does. Someone will either get pissed off, walk off the show.
Really?
Pass out drunk.
Yeah,
We don't talk.
That.
We don't. Yeah, we've had some drinking on the show.
We've
I
had-
usually drink
Oh.
coffee.
Dave, we had one guest once pass out on the show on live, and we had one guest, BTC, basically pass out with his phone still in his hand, and we got to see his neckline the rest of the night until we booted him.
Yeah.
Okay, but can I ask one question?
Yes.
Is that BTC's fault for falling asleep, or you for not being entertaining enough to keep his ass awake?
Perhaps a little of both.
Yeah.
Could have been. Could have been.
Oh, man.
You do this often, BTC? You come on here?
Oh yeah.
What
Not
do you
for a
do?
while.
It's good to see you, though.
A phone call there. We had a first on Ike Live the other night, and almost went a little too far. Dave, you remember your camera boat guy, John Valdez, when you
John
filmed
Valdez,
here?
I love him. He is the greatest drunk dialer in the world. Like, I won't hear from him for 2 years, and out of nowhere, and he's still in my phone is Juan Valdez.
Oh my gosh.
Some
that's
text
awesome.
will come up from Juan Valdez. I love him. So continue on.
Well, they had their bass club had their annual Christmas party the other night, and I had them zoom in from the party just after the Dancer Girls got there. So we was this close to showing titties on Ike Live. I see the camera shots just in time.
What?
Yeah,
How'd that happen?
it's just there's men.
It happens.
You got a timestamp for that, Brian? That I
They
could write down and
But who's titties? Man titties?
Strippers were there, man.
Come on.
Somebody FaceTimed in and it's strip bar.
Their club, Barrington,
Ah.
they're accepted members, by the way.
Oh
They
my
had
God.
a Christmas party, and I had somebody zoom in from the clubhouse at the Christmas party after the Dancer Girls got there, and yeah,
Hey.
that's first
Fair enough.
Wow. That would have been
far
something.
high for you guys. You know what I mean, Dave? Or
Mhm.
low.
Yes.
I'm just here to, I don't know. I'm seeing how awkward this podcast can get. Like, there's moments where I feel like we're at speed dating and none of us know we all know it's not working, but we're stuck there.
We just don't know what's gonna pop up. So when I was down at the Bassmaster Classic, I realized I'm not the only angler struggling to get by. In fact, well, I just feel bad for this guy. I feel bad for Dave. I didn't know it came down to sleeping on the streets.
Dave, if I could stay awake for 2 hours, there's no reason you should be sitting on the curb right now.
I was so pissed when you walked up to me at this moment.
At night. It's where you sleep.
My room. These two vehicles. This is where I sleep.
Oh man.
Good point. You got
Oh,
I remember that moment.
Yes, yes. I couldn't believe it. There he is. Just
Sleeping.
sitting
Remember
there
the
in between
moment
two cars.
where Travis woke up Mark Zona?
Oh,
What?
did you hear
What?
about that, Dave?
What did you do to
Listen
Z?
So it couldn't have been that bad.
Oh, it
Couldn't
was.
have been that bad.
What did he
Oh.
do?
That's why I didn't come on.
I'm going to
Rumor-
text Z
Zona
right
on
now
the
and find
show.
out what he did.
Rumor has
Please
it.
do. Yes.
No,
Yes.
we made
There's
up.
no rumor about it. It's a real deal. Tell him the
Allegedly.
story.
What did you do to Zona?
Okay. So apparently after
Just so you know, he got me my job, and it's the entire reason I'm in this
okay.
position in
say
life.
Don't
So
say
if you
apparently.
fuck Zona,
Tell the
you're
story.
fucked.
There's no fucking apparently, dude. Tell the story. Like it happened.
I was loud coming back to my room the night of the classic, and it was very late, and he had to get up
What time?
early, and I don't know, and I was very loud, and but I wasn't, but he thought it was, and so rumor has it I ran back down the lobby, and he ran out of his room in his underwear trying to hunt me down.
Wow.
Yeah, he was pretty upset, but it
I don't
wasn't.
think that's true.
You have a
You
hard
realize
time
what
with
you have to
accepting.
do to get Zona to leave his lair and chase.
I pissed him off.
Like he's not going to run around the hallways in his underwear searching for you.
He did.
Yes.
But Travis wasn't very loud. Apparently,
No.
that's what the story was.
I didn't think I was that loud. Anyways,
You were drunk. How would you know?
when I wasn't drunk, and when I saw him in Texas at the last classic down the lobby, he came up to me and he goes, "Don't ever do that again." And he looked at me dead serious, and I'm like, I didn't know how to take it, and I'm like, and then he laughed,
Mhm.
and he goes, "I'm just kidding. I love you, but I'm not really kidding." We left it at that.
That's perfect.
Well, Travis, that just made a conspiracy theory pop into my head. So I know we talked about it, on the show a couple of times. So the last classic, you unfortunately overslept one day, missed the launch. A couple people were a little mad at you. Is it possible that Mr. Zona snuck into your room that night, turned off your alarm, and forced you to be late to the launch that day? Was for a little bit of payback? I don't know. It's popped into my head when we're telling that story.
Possible. It's possible.
Wow. It gets deeper.
Is that what popped into your head?
Yeah, I was trying to block out the thought of Zona running around in his underwear. So I just went to conspiracy theory real quick to get that view out of there.
Holy moly.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Good stuff.
Well, Christmas is soon, huh?
Yeah, good one, Dave.
What's the bone you got to pick with me?
Oh, I didn't really have anything. I just wanted to say hi to you. I mean, do you want to? Are we supposed to? Let's do a fake beef just to hit. I don't know.
Everybody loves.
Hey, Brian the
BTC.
Carpenter is the only guy who's ever bumped me from a podcast, though. True story.
That's right.
Did bump me?
Whoa.
Bumped me.
For who?
Listen to this douchebag. I mean, I love him, but he's
Hold on a second.
okay.
Oh, fuck. Pictures.
So I didn't even know this other guy at the time. I mean, I just knew who he was. This guy calls me Pat from Straycast, right? Calls me and says, "Hey, would you do the podcast? I got your number from Brian the Carpenter." And I'm like, "Sure, I'll do the podcast." So I booked both podcasts, all set to go. And then we find out BTC doesn't want me on there because I'm on Straycast on the same week, and we can't double book. And God forbid podcasts have the same people on, because that'll never happen. And so he bumps me, but he gave the guy my number. So if it wasn't for him, so I think you intentionally destroyed my career, Brian the Carpenter. I think it was an attack on a besmirchment on my everything.
Besmirchment. I love that word. I'm saying it. I don't know what it means, but I like it.
So
BTC, you have the floor.
the third or fourth podcast you were on that week, and I denied at your number, although I might have. But I
You totally did.
Did I?
Yeah.
I regret that. You know what? I owe you an apology for that. I am truly sorry I gave Pat fucking Renwick your number.
Yeah, that's the gift that keeps on giving right there, my friend.
My bad.
Wow.
No, I hold no grudge to it, but I mean,
Now, if we could just get Zona on and Travis and Zona would make up, this would be awesome. Can you?
We're
call Zona
we're
and
fine.
would he-
We are fine.
I don't
We're
think so.
fine.
Not from
don't
what
know.
he just responded.
Oh,
And right now it's been on 3 dots for about 20 minutes. He's writing a journal.
This is the best thing ever.
Hey, BTC, let me ask you this.
man.
How did you make it that Ike actually made his announcement in one podcast? Like, how hard did he want to do like another pull the plug fake bull crap thing? Like,
Hey, listen, man. I don't care what you say. That was freaking awesome.
Oh,
I
man.
think it was one of the greatest moments in. I agree with you.
I thought it was awesome, dude. I had no idea that people were going to get mad about it. I thought it was fucking great. So.
No, but I'm not meaning that. I just mean this year he made one. He said, I'm going to announce it. And he announced it. And it was really quite old and boring of Ike. I'll be honest. I mean, I've embraced a flat brim for this particular show. And I don't need Iaconelli to get all normal on us. Because if he gets normal, the industry is screwed.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's sure he won't. Sure he won't. He's got something.
I'm sure. All right. Anyway, so are we done?
Yes.
Because we have not answered any questions. This has been the.
Oh man.
So, Dave, how you plan on dealing with Mike this year? You know that's a whole new ball game.
Oh, I deal with him like I always do, dude. I mean, if he doesn't want to talk, he doesn't want to talk. I mean, if he wants to talk, he wants to talk. He is. Listen,
He is. Goes.
he's what?
He is as his day goes.
Yeah, and that's also what people love about him. I mean, a dude that. With that, you get a guy who wants to stage dive into the crowd. You get a guy who wants to win the event in front of his hometown crowd and hand the trophy to the crowd. I mean, with all that other stuff comes a lot of positive. And I will say, I mean, Ike's always been one of my favorite. He was one of the guys that I missed the most, but I also like bizarrities. Like I like when things are weird with Ike. Like when I ask him a question and he says nothing and walks off the stage. I get off on the weirdness like that.
I love BTC's comment. He is how his day goes. I think a lot of people can relate to that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I kind of find myself in that zone quite often now that I think about it. But
Yeah, like every day.
it's exactly right.
Yeah, I got you. That's true.
It's how your day goes. You never know. People always say you can't judge someone. You don't know what they've gone through or how they're feeling that day, or someone runs in front of you at the store, or you're trying to get a parking spot and they pulled in. You don't know what's going on in their head. We always assume they're just a jerk, but they could have
Travis,
had
who are you? What have you been reading? That's called empathy. You are feeling empathy right now for others. This is
I've always had,
extraordinary.
Eric. It's just you're always.
It's a breakthrough.
It's not.
I love it. You're transformed. Merry Christmas, everybody. It's good, Travis.
Look, we're all clapping.
Way to go, Travis.
We fixed him.
Progress. Yes.
I will say the Iaconelli thing, though, one exception. He is as his day goes, unless one thing happens. One kid walks up to him and asks or just says hi. There is no dude on earth, like literally, I've ever seen. Like even when things go bad, I mean, he won't leave. You know what I mean? Like even if you go to, like, there's been times where I've gone to find him at an event because I need to get a quote from him for something, a gamer or something we're doing. And I'll go around the corner, I'll see Becky and she'll be like, he's with kids. Like she knows, like there's no, and I can't respect that guy. I can't, because every time you hear that, there's not enough people on earth that don't see that. You know what I mean? Like every time you hear all the different stupid crap that people attach to Iaconelli, right or wrong, man, there's nobody that will stand around and do more to really grow this sport by shaking kids' hands and signing hats and giving away, all his whole foundation. It's really amazing what he's done. So
that's cool, man.
And he didn't know the flag was connected to that damn pole. Hey, I know who knows. I know the man who has that pole still to this day.
Really?
No way. That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, he retired from bass, and it's not Trip. just because he recently retired and he's going to get a whole bunch. But he retired from bass, and I offered him all sorts of charitable donations.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't take them. But I'd love that little piece of fishing memorabilia.
Heck yeah.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. What is your most treasured piece of fishing memorabilia right now?
I got a lot of really cool things. Next time we do this, we should do it from down at my bar. And
will you come? You'll come back. That's awesome.
Give
give everybody a Dave Mercer.
Thing you say, like on the pod. Yeah, what's the next time?
He ain't coming back.
One of the coolest things I have actually is an Iaconelli thing. And it's a windshield, a kicked-in windshield that he signed, and I won it on Ike Live.
Oh
we
my
did
God!
Some kind of contest, but it's kicked in, and he wrote on it, "Never grow up." So yeah, that's one of the coolest things I'd
That's
say.
Freaking awesome! We gotta see your bar. People have been asking, like, they want to see the
they want to see the
basement,
the more, but
the more.
I don't even think I can go anywhere with this. Hold on. Here, let me see. Okay.
I mean, that's an impressive bobblehead.
Everything up and I go away. It's been good hanging with you guys.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
Good stuff. He might be doing it on purpose.
No, I think he's
a good exit.
mobile.
That's a pretty
He's
good
on,
exit.
he's on a mobile phone. Look at that bobblehead collection.
I know. I didn't want to ask because he probably gets bombarded with.
Oh,
look at that!
Oh, now the money shot happens. Phoenix,
yeah.
baby.
Oh,
yes.
Nikes.
Look, he's organized, dude.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, Travis, that you guys get
this is
great.
good.
Way to
this
go,
is oh, there it is.
We can't hear him. Does he know he's muted?
I don't know.
Dave, if you can hear us, you're muted. Mute.
Yeah,
there's a mute button on the little icon thingy. Still
He's
muted.
working on it. He's working on it.
Okay, cool.
There. How about now?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes.
So yeah, this is
So wait a second. The windshield just like hanging right there when you walk past it?
No, my wife literally brought it through the door. And she came running. She's watching this bull crap, bro. She's very supportive.
Yes. We love Mrs. Mercer.
Yes. So it's just like Brian's place, just a lot more lighting.
Right.
Man, you gotta love a bass cave, man. Bass caves are so cool, dude.
It is.
BTC's got a cool one.
Wow.
I mean, the labs are it's pretty cool too.
Look, got all drawers, and it's way better than I ever.
Yes. Dave, where'd you get those drawers? I like those drawers. What are those?
Custom.
Damn you.
Custom, bro.
Hell yeah, dude. I see new plans for the lab.
Yeah.
I love it.
Here's the coolest thing. This is how you should hang all your fishing rods. I'm going to tell you. Everybody argues. Look at all my rods behind me there.
Yes.
All it is, if you have a store, this would suck. Because people would break it. But if it's your own, it works. Because all you do is you dip those hooks, basically. Dip them in like whatever it's called, the plastic crap.
Coat.
Yeah.
So you coat them, and you just hang them up on like that. And you got all your rods laid out like that. It's the best way to store rods. And if you have a double garage, you put them right in the center. It doesn't take up any more room.
Crazy.
There's a tip for you.
That's awesome. What a nice cave you got.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. But yeah, that's all I got for you. I don't know.
I'm sure there's more.
Next time we'll go to the bar. Next time the bar is more.
Next time's the bar.
Yeah. We love it.
Okay, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Dave.
All right, listen, Dave, we really appreciate it. You're definitely welcome back. We hope to see you soon.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Just realized someone might have tuned in halfway through and realized I think I'm wearing this for serious. I love you all. Merry Christmas. We'll see you in the new year.
Dave Mercer.
Woo. I think he liked it.
I think he did too.
I think he enjoyed himself.
I think he really did because
himself.
you didn't have to keep it like, serious. It was fun. Lots of laughs, great stories, good questions, man. a little moment between me and you where, thought I was really asking the question about the Canadian thing? Come on, Trav. That's supposed to be funny.
It was. So I called BTC up today and I asked him if he'd like to come on the show. And he goes, "Happy anniversary." I'm like, what? Like, how'd you know? It was a year ago today. He lost his cell phone in the St. Lawrence River.
Oh,
Never forget
it.
Do we have that?
A year ago today?
I tried to look for it because I wanted to play it. I could not find it.
I know I got
BTC. What
It's
size
somewhere.
iPhone do you have, BTC?
it's spelled,
No. What's the model?
I don't know, 11 or something, 11 plus XL.
Okay. I got something for you.
Hey, let me look up that. Can I dip out and look up that video?
Yeah, let's see. I
Sure.
think tonight's the night to bring it out.
Stand by.
We'll be back.
Ooh, that was good though. I thought.
Man, that was really good.
I mean, I think if he wanted to leave earlier, he would have just pieced out of there. But I think he enjoyed it. We, didn't scare him away or anything. A lot of good information out of him, and there's so many avenues you can go with him. He's obviously a great angler. He's obviously could ask him any question about the Elite Series, fishing history.
He's
Very, very
extremely
interesting
organized, man. Look at that.
I know.
Oh wow, dude! Big
Look at
time.
those pegboards and baits were perfectly squared.
He's got it going on, man.
I could go to town. I was thinking about starting a bait organization consulting firm.
I thought about asking you that before. I mean, my wife watched this show on Netflix a while back where people just this lady, she goes into people's houses and just organizes their kitchen and stuff.
I may have a
Why not
million
just go into
things to
someone's
do,
garage?
a million things to do on my desk and things to do to help grow the business and things for fishing and just a lot going on this time of year. And oftentimes when I'm out here, I just step away and I go grab some baits and I start organizing. Like today, I organized all my drop shots and put them in separate bags and labeled them what size they were. And I find peace with that, man. I feel productive, even though it's completely not productive. I still feel like it was.
That's very, very productive. Being organized helps you be more efficient on the water. It clears your mind. You don't feel stressed. So,
but a lot of other things go.
No. I think being organized and efficient is one of your biggest aspects of how you fish and fish strong and guide. And you have to pay attention to that. And okay, so maybe other things, but look, there's only 24 hours in a day. You have to do it. So, and now if you're using that as an excuse to push other important things off that aren't urgent, because in life there are like 4 quadrants, right? Urgent and important, urgent and not important. You've seen that thing before, right? So anyway,
but I'm interested.
Cleaning is
Eric.
not urgent, right? But it's the important things that aren't urgent that we all put off in life. Important but not urgent. They're the easiest things to kick down the road. And if you thought about your life or your business, you'd probably see a few of those things. You should just draw a 4-quadrant box and start categorizing stuff and see what ends up in there, man. And then anyway, cleaning might take a backer, a little bit more of a back seat. Anyway, but
gotcha.
I think it's productive. I do.
No luck, BTC.
He was able to. He sent me a couple of videos. I just got to email them to myself, and I'll
perfect.
Get them pulled up here. But I did have a good TV show idea for you, Travis. So everyone's, we've seen Extreme Makeover Home Edition. They got a whole HGTV channel just designed to people doing home makeovers and stuff. Why doesn't BTC do the design, do the carpentry work of things, and then when he gets done with that, you go in and organize the person's baits, make a TV show out of it. It's no different than Extreme Makeover Home Edition. You're just doing it with fishing stuff.
Yo, can you guys hear me at all? I can't hear anything.
Absolutely.
We got you, man.
Hello. Hello.
Why can't you hear us?
I don't know. It's BTC. Well,
Why
this is
can't
the
you
part
hear
of the
BTC?
show.
We can't hear you, BTC. Can you hear us? We can't hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost him.
Alex, good. Yes, we need to run that by.
Might have to. If Legendary Lakes doesn't work out, we can do Legendary
We'll-
Home Garages or something.
We'll start local and expand.
Yeah.
We'll franchise it out.
That would be pretty cool. All right, so he sent me some videos. I'm getting them pulled up here. Just takes a while for them to come through.
Remember. Use your judgment, Alex. Watch that video and see
It's
if
true.
this is something we should be. I tried to talk him out of it last year. I said people aren't ready for this.
Oh shit! Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's up to
We'll see.
BTC.
I'll
Up to
play.
you. Let's go to the videotape.
He's hooking it up. Don't worry.
I
BT.
sent him another too related to the earlier conversation when getting a hook in your finger.
Oh,
Ooh,
BTC.
those are creeping me out.
Rise and glide, baby.
I know. I got to get back in there. By the time you
I
got
know,
back,
man.
Carter
I
was-
figured.
get back in what?
He was ordering some stuff on the lab, man. Oh no, you're
He's
watching
ordering-
it? He's watching it.
Do we set it up? Gotta set it.
You
You
got to
gotta
set it
let
up.
everyone
There might
see,
be there might be people that don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you got to. Got Travis.
You got to set this up if you're going to play it, because
All right.
All right, I got it.
So,
all
That was
right.
all right. Are you playing the strippers or the smallmouth bass first?
What?
No stripper yet.
Let me set the stage. We're up on the St. Lawrence River. Things are going great. We're having a lot of fun. We're catching fish.
1 year ago,
1 year ago today, BTC never had so much fun in his life on the river.
cold.
Walleye, smallmouth, big. It was freezing. Anyways, you know how he is with social media. He wants to get all these stories on his Instagram and hero shots. So he catches this smallmouth, and somehow the phone falls into the water. And he freaks out because he's holding the fish at the same time the phone falls into the water. And pretty much
I put the fish back there and then cursed.
you put the fish back in the water extremely hard, probably the most violent release I've ever seen in my life.
Hold on, I thought we were on the same fucking team here. I put the fish back like fucking Brett Favre throwing a pass to what's his fuck. That's
Yeah.
all.
I mean, it's no harder than a smallmouth that's jumped up out of the air and splashed down to the water. Is
You
it?
guys be
went back.
the judge. Roll the clip.
You,
All right.
you guys be the judge. Roll the
Here you
clip.
go, bro. This is
Fast.
on you.
All right. You know what? Let's go.
Let's go.
There we go.
I only threw it once though. Just the one time.
I think he went straight in. He's fine. It actually oxygenated him. You
Yeah.
can't hurt a
We'll go with
fish
that.
by throwing him head first.
No,
Now,
you
if he
cannot.
went sideways and belly flop, but I mean, smallmouth jumped 6 feet out of the air and come down as hard as F.
Yeah. I don't want to hear a damn thing because every one of us listen and watch and sets the hook into a fish's face. I threw him in water. So it happens. You know what I mean?
That's honestly true. Violent hook sets on bass. I mean, it's probably a whole lot worse getting their head snapped.
Yeah, unless
Oh,
they and they're sweep set guys, you know. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I get it.
Unless we're like this, reel in gently when you're setting the hook. No, Travis, you have no room to talk. The pain you're inflicting on a bass every time you set the hook, and me, and everybody on this stream. So before you judge 242 people, Brian the Carpenter, think about what you're doing when you're bass fishing. We're all in trouble now.
Is that the only one we got, Alex, or do we have the real in
The
real
other
time.
one's a little longer, so it's still
That was
uploading.
pretty good.
I mean, no,
There's
yeah.
you mean there's a better, longer, extended version of that?
No, that was
there's the extended explicit play version on iTunes.
I think you said this one was you hooked yourself or something, Brian.
Yeah, it's a different
Later.
video.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
I thought
don't-
I had thought we had the real unedited clip of the whole your phone falling in, all the swear words, all the moments of
This
yes, that's
Yeah.
somewhere.
it's the finality of it, man. It's like, no, that did not just fucking happen. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
and all
Oh,
the
for
things, all
sure.
the content and everything I got to go through to get that
Yep.
you know, like
Yep. Dude, I felt
Oh,
for
yeah.
you. It blew the whole mood the rest of the day, big time.
I mean, especially for Brian, someone that runs a small business, produces 2 live shows. I mean,
Mhm.
this phone's probably a lot more important to him.
Dude,
than
the
it is
whole
to
ride home, he's like,
everybody
"Oh, I
else.
got to
You
work.
gotta-
This guy's supposed to call
Oh,
me.
yeah.
How am I
I
gonna
can't
get?"
even imagine.
Yeah.
Then you got to go deal with stupid Verizon or Patriot Mobile, whoever does your phone, and sit there with them. I mean, that's just the whole
Patriot
process.
Mobile, you can use my link. Government won't track your calls. $78 a month. Best thing I've ever did.
I love it.
Your life's completely transformed. Best thing I ever did. Use SMC20 for a discount only today. Get clean.
Listen, guys. If you're sick and tired of deep state following every move that you do,
do. Oh, it's Travis, for real. Are we gonna go here?
Now,
I was
Eric, I
just
know we're
trying
to-
joking around, but if Patriot Mobile says they want to be the title sponsor of the Legendary Lakes Tour, are you in on that? Are you out on that?
Fuck
How you-
no, I'm going solo. Travis, enjoy your own tour
stick with your.
with the clean state.
All right.
You want to keep the I'm out.
Mm.
I'm out. Don't take it here because I'm out. You could have fun for the rest of the stream.
Hey.
I don't want to do it. I just had a great stream with Dave Mercer and you and BTC. We saw a funny clip, man. And you're going to take it there? Come on, dude. You know it's my button, and I'm going to push yours, and we're going to go for it.
Knock it off. Play the
Or
video
I'm just gonna go cancel,
You
and
see
I'm
me?
out and just
Okay,
enjoy it.
here's
Enjoy
what
it.
you don't
Just have
understand,
fun.
Eric. You made your point, and now you see me. I kind of sit back in the chair, I pull the mic a little closer, and I just take a deep breath and relax. But
Okay,
you
good.
want to keep egging me on.
I'm gonna egg you on.
So maybe this
Oh,
is
it's
the point of
me.
the show where you stop rousing me up and,
Whoa.
and
Let's just be
make
clear. Don't start none.
my
There
blood
won't
pressure
be none.
rise. My blood
Don't
pressure
start
rises.
none.
I get
Listen to the
louder.
words. Listen to the words. Don't start none. Won't be none.
BTC, see a whopper plopper.
Oh.
Right out. It's almost like that scene from Naked Nights or something. Like snake knife in there.
Oh yeah.
I'm loading up on the line. Let me know when you're ready.
Hit it.
Oh! 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 Oh!
Let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end.
That's the best thing I've ever seen. Who did that edit? That's so good.
Eric the intern, the one and only.
That's awesome.
People, let me tell you.
Oh man. So Brian, how did it feel when you got this big hook in the middle of your finger and all Dave's sitting there doing is like, this reminds me of that one Talladega Nights movie scene. He's sitting there like making it extra 30 seconds. You got a hook in your finger. It's quoting
The
movies.
way that played out was we were in this pond. It was me and Eric and my buddy Dave in this kayak, and he was fucking horsing around and like and he was banking really hard, you know what I mean? And Dave's top heavy. As a kid we used to call him Square Deal because he's Polish. He's got a big block head, and he was cutting really hard and going fast with his little feet going like that, and he rolled it. Kayak over, and all his shit dumped down into the fucking water.
Oh no!
We then spent, the next whatever. That's why he's standing in the water right there. because he was retrieving his shit from the bottom of the lake. And then in the chaos, he grabbed something like that and pulled the hook into my fin. It was a whopper flopper. It was a junior. They still got a pretty thick hook.
Yeah, they do.
In my pinky. And it sucked. And it's like, Eric, don't stop filming.
That's legendary, dude. That's good stuff right there, man. Wow.
Yeah, Eric made the best edits, man. I miss that little stinker.
He was super, super creative, man. You know, you gotta. I don't know how you find that. Isn't that the courtship of Eddie's father? That let me tell you about my best friend. Is that from that show? Does anybody know where that theme song
Nobody
came
watches
from?
the movies you watch, Eric.
It wasn't a movie, Travis. It was a show. I said show, not movie.
All right.
So anyway,
I think this is a good time to take a quick little break. We're going to be right back. Refill your drink, BTC. We got 2 words. We got 2 sponsors we got to get through. One brand new sponsor by SmallmouthCrush. We'd like to welcome Jig Squad on board. Yep, absolutely. And we'll be right back after these messages.
Nice.
Hey, I teamed up with Beast Coast Fishing to design this killer little jig. Whether you're fishing for smallmouth, largemouth, even spotted bass, this thing is sneaky. Designed with proven fish-catching characteristics. It's a tiny little finesse football jig. It's called the Open Water Sniper. Of course, it's SmallmouthCrush approved. They come in a wide variety of different colors. This one here is Sexy Melon. We got Mothman, Straight Black, Green Pumpkins. So you notice they actually have a few less strands than your standard football jig. No weed guard. You're going to be throwing this the same place you're going to throw an open water, say, exposed hook tube. So anytime you're around that type of structure, it's going to work real well in rocks, hard bottom. And all you're going to be doing is dragging this along. You can do a drag and stop, a continuous retrieve. You can put a little tiny swim bait on the back of that. There's so many different ways you can fish this jig. I've put a TRD on the back of it and looked at them on the graph and dropped straight down and just let it sit there. They're going to hit it. They're going to bite it. The whole point of this jig is to actually emphasize the trailer that you're going to use. So notice the small strands. The hook is very stout. It's perfect. It's got an awesome keeper for your plastics. I've caught so many fish on this year. It will put more fish in the boat. Go check them out. Hey, listen, they got a lot of other great products as well. BeastCoastFishing.com and pick yourself up the OW, Open Water Sniper Jig, SmallmouthCrush approved. And of course, we have to welcome our newest sponsor to the SmallmouthCrush podcast, Cuda.
Full service.
And the Jig Squad.
What's happening, T?
What's going on, dude?
Nothing, buddy. I appreciate you having me on. I always like
so you
hanging
got
out
you got some big news. First of all, some huge news. I want everybody to tune in to what you got going on. So if you could just take a moment and talk about it, and we'll let's bring Eric in on here.
Cuda!
What's up, my man?
What's up, man?
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, so it's been in the works for a long time. So some of you guys in chat already know, but I've been the last 6-7 months, I've been spending a lot of time kind of drafting my new adventure in the fishing industry. And so we are going to be starting a live podcast. December 30th, we're starting. It's called Jig Squad. And you can find me, Sean, thank you very much, my man. You could find most of my posts on Instagram at Jig Squad. And so we're trying to do something unique. This is something I always wanted to do. And it's basically going to be, we are going to interview jig makers from North America. And the whole goal is to promote the heck out of cool designs, style, flow, color. I made a lot of contacts in the industry, and I finally said, I've been doing this a long time, and it's time to put the heat out. And I'm going to let my personality come out a little bit. And I'm really excited. So Eric's going to be joining me a little bit because he's the everlasting gobstopper geek.
Really?
The Ned plan.
So you're taking Eric away from me.
He rent.
What's
Rent.
going on here?
It's an independent contract situation, Travis. I'm trying to get Alex next, but I don't know if he's fully on board yet because Bass Erie swept him up, right? So, I mean, the entire guys. Listen, I'm going to tell you something, Carl. Thanks, buddy. I cannot impress upon people enough. This is all a grassroots operation. You know, I've been making jigs for 20 plus years. And, you know, there's a lot of people that do a lot of different things. And I think the industry has seen so many crazy, cool things. And I just feel there's a lot out there that the industry has not seen. And the goal, I mean, we're going to have companies on, a lot of independent designers that don't sell jigs, that just design. The entire goal is to meet a wide range of audiences, not just the people who are into jig making. If you're interested in fishing jigs, it would be a cool show. If you check out my Instagram, shameless plug, you know, like I said, literally in the past month, probably in the last month, I finally just started posting pics. And so basically the only things you're going to see me post on that Instagram page is repost pics of different designers from North America. There's a few South American guys on there too that just have some crazy cool designs. We're going to have a little bit of the professional fisherman element come into and talk about some things. I have an affinity for northern smallmouth, and I mean Eric is one of the best in terms of energy and excitement. He's a geek on crankbaits, but he really is a geek on jigs too, and he likes to design. You were telling Mercer that earlier, right, Eric?
I love tying, man.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
my fly
Oh,
tying
yeah.
vice,
We
man.
heard
You know
the
I
story.
do, man.
We heard the
You
story.
know I love the fly tying vice, Travis.
Kuda, I'm joking, man.
I know, buddy.
Really looking forward to this. We're all going to be there December 30th. What time?
December 30th, 7 p.m. Central, so 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm really excited, and kind of a little preview. So the first show is basically going to be me and Eric, and Eric and I are working together a little bit, and he's basically going to be kind of highlighting and interviewing me a little bit to start us off. I'm gonna be throwing stuff back at Eric a little bit too, because I think hearing his journey through making jigs and the excitement behind it is kind of what it's all about. And I think it's important for people to hear why I'm doing it, and what some of my philosophies are in terms of, and it's not even as much about what is a right design, what is wrong with other people's designs. It's basically about throw everything out the window that you've learned regarding jig design and what you should be fishing and how you should. And we want to talk about things on a whole nother level. How different designs, how we take influence from the steel headers. The steel headers make some crazy cool hair jigs.
Heck yeah, man.
Saltwater too, Eric. How about it? The color combos from saltwater. Travis, maybe sometime. I'm really interested in giving people the opportunity to hear like Travis's experience with Beast Coast. You know, what was it like is somebody going in with the company and talking about jig design and what that process looked like. What was he looking for? How are they able to meet his needs? And I think the important thing here is I'm trying to do something just totally different. I don't think to start, we're not going to do it weekly. It's going to be, we're going to try and stick to Thursday nights. But we're not going to do it weekly to start. I'm just going to get my feet wet, and we're going to get going, and we just want to tear it up. It's going to have a live chat, so nothing's going to be pre-recorded. Maybe other stuff in time, who knows? But you know, I personally don't have time in my life right now for that. What I do have time for is geeking out and talking jigs. And so, Eric, how long have I been talking about Jig Squad? You want to tip these guys off? How long do you think?
As long as I've known you. As long as I've known Kuda. I mean, as soon as Travis, you brought him on the stream, I got to know Kuda. Kuda was talking about, you know, the whole concept, and you know, we talked a lot about, you know, should he change and, you know, go from Kuda to Jig Squad. And I'm like, dude, you got to bust out, man. If this is your passion and you love the creation and design, flow, and color, you got to do it. I mean, I think this is like a way to bring the cottage industry, not the big giant companies, but there are so many great fly tires, jig tires, and just people doing really creative stuff that no one ever is going to see. I mean, you could be on Instagram, you're not going to see it all. And to get inside their head and understand, and then bring some of that, like the salt to the fresh. I mean, you know, a perfect example of that is, you know, this is a Clouser minnow reimagined as a inchy wacky, you know, weighted jig wacky, to just add a little bit, you know, instead of a plain hook with a lead on it, why not some red eyes and a little bit of skirt material and a little bit of crystal flash? You know, I can't imagine that sitting with a 4-inch Senko on it on a smallmouth bed. And that's built on one of the best Nikko hooks ever made. I made it silver because it's saltwater. So this is completely saltwater inspired, bringing it to fresh water. That's just one mini example of what CUDA's all about.
And look
what I love to create.
Yeah, and you know, like Travis, a little while, you just saw the ad a little bit ago, everyone, with Travis talking about the amount of skirt material that he included in the design for the OW Sniper.
Super sparse.
Yeah, it's and you know, I'll tell you something about Beast Coast. And you know, I don't work with Beast Coast. I don't work for Beast Coast. I work for no one. You know, I represent Do It Molds, right? But aside from that, the hottest thing in the industry right now is people making hybrid jigs, right? And there's a lot of different categories of what people are considering hybrid. Sometimes when people are just using living rubber with some silicone, they're calling that hybrid. Sometimes it's when they got flash. Sometimes when they're incorporating other fly tying materials. Yeah. But there are just some crazy cool designs out there. And the thing is, this is the one thing, even just for us Joe Schmoes in chat and talking with people, the crazy thing is a lot of the designers out there, they make things, but a lot of it in certain ways is a replication of other things that are already out there in the industry that we see. A football jig would be an example with a lot of silicone. The deal is, I want the designers to start talking about why they design the way they do. I want people to talk about why they design with intent. How do they pick their colors? Why did they pick their colors? Jig makers should be able to tell a story, and I think that's what excites me as a fisher person.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, and I think when we do that, we start creating this culture within our own fishing industry that just excites people. And, you know, there's so many podcasts out there. And Travis, you know, I mean, my head rests here. You know, this is my home. This is where I have my loyalty to. There's a lot of other good people that do different things podcast wise. But my thing is, and I'll explain more on the first show, but this was my way to say, I want to do something different. And I want to prove that, you know, the average Joe who comes with a lot of experience, and I'm not the best out there, but I come with a lot of experience too. And I just want to highlight creativity. And I think that it's an awesome discussion. I mean, what doesn't excite all of us more than when you see a new jig show up on Tackle Warehouse or something like that? You're like, oh, I'm going to click back on that. Let's see that.
Damn right, man.
So I'm going for it. I'm going for it. If you see my stories I post on my Instagram story, you know, I'm getting my groove a little bit. I don't mind. I have nothing to lose.
No, you don't. You just step out and do it, man. You celebrate creativity, man. You celebrate cottage industry. And I got to tell you, I mean, I think some of the best stuff's coming from smaller types of companies like Beast Coast. But, you know, let's talk about the one-man shop out there. What's he building? Right. And that's, to me, that's the origin of the Bass Lab. I wanted to get a vibrating jig that had a little fur. And so this is a Phoenix vibrator, if anybody remembers this. But I took a Magnum Zonker strip and I made it a super flashy. But when this thing swims in the water this is a bunny strip. It's a Magnum Zonker strip. There is no plastic that compete with the action of this. I retired this bait because it caught me a ton of fish. And I got to tell you, man, I'd love to see somebody take it to the next level. Like, here's a concept. What could you do next level that would be very different? You know, I don't know. But that's the essence of why I want to be involved. It's the creation, it's the innovation, it's seeing people's different styles and what they can come up with and what is their intent behind it. For me, this was a white perch. I wanted some white perch color. When the perch come in pre-spawn, those bigger largemouth, they're keying on white perch, and it got me bigger bites. It has a big presence in the water. It's very cool.
Everyone everyone putting stuff in chat. There's a lot of great designers out there that you see on YouTube. Small Jaw. Somebody just mentioned Dark Horse Tackle. I'll tell you, like, let me give you an example. And ironically enough, I'm going to mention what he makes, and it's not a jig itself, but he does make jigs. And there's some, you can buy him on Tackle Warehouse. But he is one of the best designers in North America, if you ask me. His name's Brian Schmidt.
Yeah,
and he
big time.
And go look his stuff up on Tackle Warehouse. Brian's going to come on the show. Hopefully we're going to have Brian on in January. And so, but the crazy thing, let me give you an example of what Brian Schmidt does. Brian Schmidt designs spinner baits, mostly jigs, but he designs a spinner bait, and he calls it the Schmitter bait. And it's a spinner bait, but instead of silicone on it, it's all fly tying materials, hair. And it is slick as all get out. And he sells these things all around the world. And he's a phenomenal designer. He's a master fly tyer. And we're going to have him on, and he's going to talk about intent behind design. Why he makes things the way he does. And and so, like I said, I mean, suggestions for the Jig Squad. Yeah, if you guys, hey, listen, if you have designers out there that you see or know, and you think that they are somebody that other people should see their work, then hit me up, send me a message on Instagram. If you go on my page, every picture that I post, I mention who the designer is, and I say, this is a designer you should know. So basically, the entire function of that Instagram page is exclusively to highlight all of these custom jig makers that are out there. And I'm starting to bring in a few, bigger companies and some things that I kind of think there's some unique designs that I like, or color patterns. And this is my jam. And I think it's going to be a new, interesting way to kind of talk about all the stuff that we love. So that's kind of
love it, brother. Love it. Love it, Kuda.
Very cool.
And Pete, I got to tell you, man, I appreciate you to no end. I know that, I don't think it's the right way to go about doing things, to go on people's, streams and stuff like that and just start blowing them up with your own stuff. And I had asked Travis, so you guys all hear me say it. I'd ask Travis, I say, hey, I would appreciate giving me a chance to talk a little bit and just say my piece. And and here I am. So I appreciate all you. I see all the regular names in chat. And if you give me a follow, you're going to see me keep posting the link probably in another, I don't know, minimally a week before the show, our first show. The link will be in my bio on Instagram, and I'll be putting it out like crazy, and it'll be a preset video time. So once the link is already the YouTube page is already in my bio, but the specific link to the video, the preset time will be up minimally a week before. So
hey, Kuda, people want to know where they can find your YouTube channel. Is it just Jig Squad, bro?
Yeah. So if you search for it, because I have no videos up, it is just Jig Squad.
Doesn't some kids YouTube, some kids that are Jig Squad come up?
Yeah, we got to blow them out of the water in the first month. So basically, if you search it, that's me.
Listen, I ain't Mike Iaconelli. I'll take those kids out right now. I'll take them out right now.
So if you go on YouTube right now and you search for Jig Squad, you're not going to be able to find it. Why? Because there's a couple of small little channels with 50 followers and stuff that kids made some videos and stuff. So you won't be able to search for it until the first video gets posted. So the only way you're going to be able to get to the YouTube page for now is by hitting the link in my bio on Instagram at Jig Squad. And then when you click on that, you will open up your YouTube page, and you can subscribe and hit notifications from that point. I got 23 followers right now. I'm killing it. So I am ready to rock and roll. I promise you all, it's going to be a fun time. We want to make sure that we, Jig Squad. Javid, you're right. I wish that I had that many followers. Right?
I only had 18 new followers this month, so you're beating me.
So I think the goal is to have an interactive chat, right? So I've learned that from this show that I've been on some podcasts and and they have a live chat, but then they don't talk to anyone. So that's not really what we're trying to do. I really want to make sure we have a chance. We're even going to bring on some new designers that let's just say they have a very good YouTube presence, but they are new designers and just started crafting jigs. So we're even going to get into the new designers, what their experiences have been like. And you don't have to be a jig maker, to enjoy the show, to talk about color selections, why we pick certain jigs. So hopefully it's going to be fun. And the goal, we're not going to talk down to people. We take any and all. And I think the creative end is the focus. So
I got some material. What's old is new. I got some material I want to put in the hands of a really good jig maker and see what happens, man. I saw a video. It inspired me. So I got some material. Travis, if you want a few, I think you could do pretty good with it, man. I mean,
yeah, it's hard though, Eric. Like Travis has talked about that before, but well, you know this too. I can't even imagine being in the boat with you, Eric, because you have so many things to try.
Right? Oh, yeah.
I kind of laugh. I'm like,
I have a little test box to bring up to New York, and I get through it, man. There's been some winners in it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's
and there's been some losers in it too. Remember that time we tried to fish the squid and the crab?
Yes.
It did not work. Dang, I was hoping it would.
Hey, did you did anyone ever fish the Nikko crab?
No.
No.
You did,
that big.
You remember he was talking about that he had a big one, but I think he had small ones too, like little 1-inch crabs.
Squids.
Okay.
Squid. Yeah, on a net head.
Squid works.
Squid works. That's from SpongeBob.
Squid works. All right, listen, Kuda, we appreciate
Thanks,
you coming on December 30th, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll all be there.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you a ton, T. Thanks, Eric.
You're welcome,
be in
man.
chat, boys.
All right. We'll see
you guys.
See you, Kuda.
Cool, man.
Good stuff, man. That was nice of you, Trav. You're awesome.
Good things happen when you hang out with.
Where'd BTC go?
Smallmouth Crush. I don't know.
That's very true.
Look in the background. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
welcome back.
Welcome back, BDC. What you listening to there?
Music.
And by
Billy Strangs.
Billy Strangs. Hey,
Billy
by the way,
Strangs.
that video, let me tell you about my best friend, and it was the theme song to the courtship of Eddie's father.
What is that?
That's a show about a kid. Just look it up. The courtship of Eddie's father.
I don't want to look it up. I want you to tell me. I look it up.
It was about a dad who lost his wife and a single boy. Yeah. And I think it was about, him trying to find a woman to replace. And it was about this young kid, Eddie.
So it's a movie?
No, just a show. Every week, man. New episodes.
Every week his wife still passed away. And
no, it was just, I think it was that heartbreaking moment, man. And then, the journey, the courtship. Anyway, there it is. I remembered. I watched.
You ever watch the movie The Time Machine?
The Hot Tub Time Machine?
No, not that one, but that's a good one.
Okay.
Not that I watch a lot of movies, but that would be top 5.
Hot Tub Time Machine. And then,
but the Time Machine's a regular movie. It's about a guy that lost his fiance, and then he back in like the 1850s. And
yes, I did watch that.
And he goes and she keeps dying in different ways, and then all of a sudden, his time machine takes him way out to 82, and the whole landscape's changed. You got these creatures that live underground, and
they are the lizard people.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Actually, one of my favorite movies.
There's a series, but you would have to watch it because it's dubbed. It's called Dark, and it's about that. And I think,
was it called?
I don't know. It's called Dark, but I think Travis, you would find it freaking fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't watch it fast enough. There's a lot of crying, but it is about time. Yeah. And being able to move through dimensions and time. I think you'd find it really fascinating.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I really think you'd find it fascinating. It is very CERN-like, by the way. Because it's about the God particle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and controlling it and moving through time to change history and impact future and different lives. It's really wild, man. Dark. Anybody watch it out there?
You still listening to Tom McDonald or whatever that dude is?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Next week, Monday, we have a regular live. We're not quite sure who the guest is going to be just yet, but on the 27th, the Patreon will be in full bore, and we'll be able to bore. Is that a word?
Yeah,
I think it is. Yeah, full bore.
Topic.
Okay.
Just the way you said it, I didn't know if you meant boring or bored.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean.
All right. What's the topic?
For the Patreon?
Yeah.
We're not sure yet.
Oh, sounds good, man.
Yeah. I always even like tonight when we have a high profile celebrity like Dave on, we don't announce it weeks in advance or days in advance and spam your inboxes with propaganda and whatnot. You just show up because you love.
mean like Bass U does in iClive?
Yeah, exactly. You just show up and you get what you get.
Did you feel that?
Hold on.
What?
iClive don't do that. My shit's last minute as a motherfucker.
All right.
Yeah, hey.
That Bass U does.
Damn you, Travis.
But that's
Bass U does.
Unlike the rest of us.
That's right.
So Trav, you just ran right over my question, my serious question, to tell everybody.
What was it?
You have zero information on. That's great. Yeah, next Tuesday it's going to be the 27th, and then
they just know.
You guys, huh?
They know. They show up. I'm going to put out.
They already know it's.
They get their times well spent when you're hanging out on my channel.
Great plug for your show. You told everybody you'll be live again, like you are every week, next Monday with zero information. What are you listening to? Let's move on. Anything?
What am I listening to?
Yeah.
As far as what?
Fucking music, dude. What do you mean? As far as
just music? Yeah, I got a bunch of new songs on the playlist last week. I actually sat here in this exact desk and until like 3 a.m. trying to find new music.
All right.
Find anything good?
Yeah, old ones, or a lot.
Other than country. No country. I don't know the country ones. Tell me the other ones. Oh, I got something for you. You want some new music? TK Stanley turned me on to this. Jam in the van. YouTube it. Jam in the van. It's very cool. Yes, Jam in the Van. It's a traveling van, and they just get bands to come and jam in this van. It's so freaking cool. And I've Shazammed a bunch of music, man, and I've been turned on to new artists. I love it. There's some really cool bands on there, man. There's this one girl that sounds like freaking Janis Joplin. Damn. It's awesome. Jam in the Van. Jam in the Van. Let me see if I can find her. I'll tell you who she is. I really like it. It's a brother and sister. Jam in the Van. If you guys got a minute out there, jam in the van. Okay. Well, what else you got, Travis? While I'm searching, move on and run the show.
I'm typing a response to a comment, so continue on, BTC.
Oh,
come on.
I'm all in on Billy Strings these days. I don't know what it is. I've always liked bluegrass. Fuck country music because, I don't like pop. I don't like fake ass pop music, and a lot of your mainstream country is just that.
Agreed.
I don't vibe on anything pop. It's just cheap and phony and plastic as fuck. I mean, they just play fucking wildly talented. It speaks to who we are as outdoorsmen. Bluegrass is blue collar. It's hardworking. It's outdoors. It's with an edge. With a cocaine whiskey edge. Not that I do that shit.
What?
But bluegrass, it's got that edge. It's not shitty country music. So I dig it. But how about you guys?
What's your favorite one? No, like song of theirs that you've recently listened to.
Turmoil and Tinfoil.
What is it called?
The one song I heard that's like, I'm all in on this.
What was it called?
Tinfoil and turmoil, or turmoil and tinfoil, one of them two.
Okay.
Awesome, man. Yeah, and the dude's a total bass head, like legit bass head.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
kind
he
of
was-
awesome.
Oh, Mike took him fishing.
I was just gonna say, I'm sure Mike took them fishing.
Did. Yeah. Yeah. It's cool as shit, man. Went to Greg DePalma's wedding the other day. It was cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Greg got married. Yo, he's like 11 years older than her. or 9 or something.
What?
Hey. Oh boy.
They've been together for a long time. They've been together for probably 10, 12 years, right?
Yeah, dude. She was like, yeah, I think he was her babysitter or something. I'm not sure.
What in the hell?
For real?
No, I don't know.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I don't listen to anything. I sat with me and my wife. We sat with Joe Thomas. That
Oh
dude's
wow. He's
Yeah,
a wild man. Joe's wild.
He's a wild dude. He was telling us all about his heart attack.
Oh yeah, he's a wild man.
Yeah, and Gray and Jessica Buck, who I refer to as Adam and Eve. I can't. They're so pure and innocent. It's like not even real.
I know what you mean.
Huh?
Yeah, I get that vibe. I hear you.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's like they've been going out since high school. She's his like first ever girlfriend. It's funny, dude. You know, just nicest guy ever, dude. So fucking nice. I can't stand it. The both of them. And and he's telling me like, yeah, first date. He's like, tells her, yeah, bring extra clothes, you know, because I never had a girl over before. Only my buddies, and so I'm like, we're gonna go fishing. You know, I got 4-wheelers. We're gonna go fish in my pond, and it's just so innocent, just perfect, like a piece of like a white snowflake.
Wow.
Perfect.
Good story. Good story.
Yeah. Fun. What else you got?
I think it's getting to that point in the evening.
Yeah. You want me to get another guest? Hang tight.
Oh, is this
Get his dog. Axel. We want Axel. You look tired, Travis. What's going on, man?
I'm not.
You're out of gas. You ran out of steam. You're about to push the button at 10:12 today. What happened? Got ideas? What's going on?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to.
Hang in there.
A lot.
What are you trying to figure out?
Just a lot going on today. It's a busy day.
You mean? Okay. Yeah, I got you. You seem preoccupied. I got it. Did you make some progress on the one project you're working on that we've been talking about?
Which one? Oh, that one.
That one.
Tomorrow's a big day for that project. Yes.
Awesome.
I had an appointment
good, man.
at 1, and he called me this morning and said a designer was not there, so he had to reschedule. So I'll be there tomorrow.
I got you.
Nothing.
Right. For this evening. Thanks everybody for showing up. Appreciate all you.
This is a point where we just talk, we ramble on, and if anyone wants to, record numbers tonight.
What? Record numbers?
Yeah, for not advertising.
Oh, whatever.
I saw like 320, bro.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's pretty dang good. That's the biggest we've had in a long time.
It's been a while.
It has.
Really?
What's that, B?
Have you talked to Pangrack lately?
No, I have not.
Why the
I've
fuck
texted
not?
them.
Yeah.
I've
Did you
texted them. Yeah, we talk.
All right. Bitch ain't text me back.
Yeah, Panger. What's going on with Panger, man?
I don't know.
He's due to come on. That'd be a lot to talk about. I mean,
we actually
taking a pretty big roll on, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. He's taking over the whole enterprise over there at Bass Talk Live. So we definitely need to get him on. We have some pretty cool guests lined up. We're going to bring Frank back on. Scalish, we're going to bring
fucking Frank.
We're going to bring Frank back on here at some point soon. I can't think of these other guys' names. Anyways, a bunch of really. In fact, we're going to get a schedule together. I keep talking about the schedule. The schedule's coming out. I'm really deep into my podcast season 2 as far as doing and recording them all. A couple key names you guys may or may not know: Scooter Lilly, Andy Newcomb, Jamie Bruce, Andrew Loberg.
What from Office Space?
From who?
Office Space.
Yeah. Adam Rasmussen.
Boss. He was the boss. My bad.
We're gonna have JP.
I have a red stapler.
Kate Laufenberg, Matt Elkins. I'm even gonna have our buddy Joe Zombach on at some point.
Dick Fitzhugh.
Yeah, Mike Trombley.
Nice.
It's gonna be a good deal.
Heck yeah.
I have I don't know, I have about 15 or so, 18 done.
Nice. Anybody who's ever caught a bass?
No, these are listen, I learned a lot. I dropped a shit ton of money on tackle over these few that we've had already and learned a lot.
Crazy.
So I'm looking forward to bringing season 2. On a side note, I do not have a lot of free time nowadays, and we're going to scale it back to every other week.
What, this mess?
Season 2, yes, it'll be an every other week podcast, not a weekly. The support from the intern, helping just isn't there. We're just not going to get it done. We're not going to get it done. No, honestly, it's a lot of work, you guys. Doing those 52 every week was a ton of work, and just for my sanity, I think
That's classic.
Fucker appeared like this. Like a genie.
Just follow the money, Travis. Follow the money.
That's right.
That's what Alex is doing.
Listen, Alex is way overworked at Bass U, and I figured, I got to take.
Following the money.
I got it. I have to take these podcasts
out
off
your
plate.
wallet. You got to take out your wallet. I think that's
I'm
what you
just
meant to
gonna
say.
do it.
I got to take the podcast off his plate. No, you got to put the wallet and the money on the plate to
Listen,
get the action.
Listen, I need to get
you listen. Follow the money, Alex.
Travis has offered the opportunity for some partnerships, some little cuts of this, cuts of that, and we've been working on it. Things just haven't come along. And I'm traveling. Look at this nice Dobbins rod he sent me. I got a helix cover back there he sent me, so he hooks it up. It's not like I'm just
awesome.
an indentured servant and I'm gonna get like a live scope at the end of my 10 years. Oh dang!
Follow the money, Alex.
Try to pay the mortgage with that shit. Take that live scope to your fucking mortgage company or to the bank. See what they give you.
It was actually a business decision to do it every other week because that frees up a little bit more time to bring you something very special from the Bass Lab moving forward in 2022.
Really? What do we got?
Remember?
No, I don't remember.
I'm so excited for this. Tell us more. Eric, take over.
I don't know. What are you talking about?
I thought we were going to talk about like a crankbait once a week.
Once a week, you're definitely smoking something down, man.
Every other week.
Every other week, I think, is appropriate. I had to take something off the schedule.
Fine.
I mean, 26 of those is good enough.
All right.
Yeah, one week you'll have SmallmouthCrush podcast. Next week you'll have.
Well, then, it was a point. I should have just kept doing the podcast because I could have got them all done in 20 days.
That's true. What's stopping you? Do that plus whatever you get from the Bass Lab. Then you're golden. I mean, you talk about spamming your customers. Shit. They'll be tired of you by the end of 2022. You'll be out doing Bass U at that point. I love it. That's the goal.
To be
Outdo Bass U.
Outdo.
Oh yeah,
Bass U.
just hit your customers.
I don't know how to do click funnels and all that stuff like they do. So I mean,
what'd you say about a funnel cake?
Click
what?
Click funnels.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, no, you sign up for a
funnel?
teaser. They talk about bait, and then it stops, and you want to know what it is, and you got to go pay money. And the next thing you know, you get this discount, and you sign up for this course, and next thing you know,
Let me take it here, Travis. But honestly, Bass University is a fucking whale of a deal. It pays for itself.
It does.
It really fucking does.
I'd like to say something. I used its benefits today on a discount code. So
did you really? Cool, man.
I did.
And it does, man. The massive discounts.
It's ridiculous.
It's if you're not a member, I'm not.
All I can say is I am. Let me step right in. The whole family of discounts is worth the price of admission.
Oh yeah, even if you don't want to listen
what I save on tungsten, the best Nikko hooks out there, Rapala DT series, man. I mean, it's cray. 40% off is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going to get that? It's all year long.
It's not as fun as smallmouth crush, and you definitely ain't gonna see titties, but you're gonna learn some shit about bass fishing and get some discounts.
There you go.
That's right.
So
no, I think some of the content's the best out there. I'll just say that. I watch.
This is one of our better shows in a long time. So first of all, I want to thank everybody for joining us, the viewers. I want to thank Dave, Alex, Eric, BTC.
Hey,
I gotta get
say something.
Listen, guys,
you seem really mellow. You've got a mellow tone about you these days.
Melatonin.
Yeah, you've mellowed.
Maybe because I don't drink anymore. I don't know.
I think that's what it is. I think
BTC,
you know what?
I haven't had since November.
You said that there's no effect.
Like early November.
There is an effect.
Of course,
you're way more mellow. No, he says there's no difference in him productive wise.
I don't feel nothing.
But I think honestly, I think we figured it out. You are way more calm without alcohol.
Yeah, bro.
Way more mellow, man. I thought you might have been taking gummies or something, but we figured it out. No drinking. Alcohol is like fire water for you, dude.
Oh, geez.
I think it's true. Everybody sound off who's watching. There's 187 people watching right now that I can see. Who thinks Travis has sounded more mellow since he stopped drinking? I'm just going to let it marinate.
I mean, I think it could be a little bit of both. I mean, you guys did about get into a good argument there. That wasn't going to be too mellow, but BTC thankfully sent us in that video. So I think it could be a little bit of doing a bunch of podcasts every day. I'm sure it's a busy time.
It's definitely
off season get
it checked out. It's just a simple blood test. You get nothing.
Actually, I have to go into my physical in 2 days for my captain's license.
Yeah.
To get it renewed.
The hearing test, or the guy was like,
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I have to go through all that stuff to renew my license. It's been 5 years already.
Wow. Does that kind of blow you away?
It does. Scary.
That it's been that long?
Mm-hmm.
How long we been podcasting together? I mean, live streaming.
Couple of years, 2 years for sure. Regularly.
I think
you're out.
More than that.
Trav, thanks for hitting me up. Bud.
Okay. Have a good one.
Peace.
All right. Okay.
BTC out.
I will be. I'm gearing up for the sports shows. Did get confirmed. I'm going to be at the New England Fishing Expo up in I don't even know, Massachusetts somewhere. Boxborough.
Yeah, Boxborough. When is that?
End of January.
Okay, cool.
And then I'll be at the Harrisburg show all 9 days.
Oh, nice.
And I think there's a few others I might be doing. I might be doing the Philly one if there is. I haven't looked. And I think the Niagara show possibly. So that's where you can find me.
Hey, I got something to show. TK just did a special little run for all you Ghost Ozark Shad fans out there. DC1 Timber Tiger. It's on the site right now. So for those who stayed and watched, there you go. And I think there's only like 1 or 2 River Rat combo packs left of the DC1. So they sold pretty quick. And when they gone, they gone. Those 4 colors. Ghost Minnow, Ghost Perch, the Croix, and the Chrome Tennessee Shad.
Nice.
That's it. Travis, I saved you one, by the way.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
When am I going to hat
so
or a
Alex,
t-shirt
did you,
or a hoodie or something?
Oh yeah,
Alex,
Rise and Glide.
Rise and Glide. Would you put that up there? Yeah, man. So these just popped out, man. I'm really happy with the way they came out. I showed it earlier. So for all you Glide bait big butt guys, Travis, which color do you want? Are you interested in the black camo?
Yes, we've been through this every episode. I don't understand why a box just doesn't show up. It's just like Jimmy. I go pump his baits for the last 2 years.
And what happened?
A box of baits would show up. He didn't even show up for an auction, and he wonders why I don't answer his phone calls. You know, I just don't get it.
Did you order anything?
No.
Oh, well, why not? I'm sure he would have dabbed you up. You just have to give him some direction. He wouldn't know what to pour for you.
I'm rambling on a rant of nothingness. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all right. You've been busy. You really have been. You've been very productive lately, I might say.
That's what I thought.
I think so. I think you're making big strides, bro. When's the new website launch? And I know you and Alex have been working on that. Big things.
Very soon. The goal is January 1st, and I see no reason why that will not happen. So I'll have a lot of fun stuff over there. I think it'll be a good, it's a way to put it, like someone that first comes across Smallmouth Crush, it'll be a good way for them to gauge what Smallmouth Crush is all about, all the different things Travis is involved in, of course, all the things Eric's involved in, and it'll be a good place for Travis to grow his business a little bit, and that's the whole goal of building the website, something like that. So excited to work with him on it. It was a good experience for me, and hopefully people love it as much as we've had fun making it.
Hopefully it turns out. I'm looking forward to it. We're trying to get my guide schedule up there. So if anyone's wondering about guiding, I'm definitely going to be hardcore March, April, May, and June on the Chesapeake pretty much every day. However, the Lake Ontario, St. Lawrence River, I'm going to be limited in the amount of time I'll be up there. Have a few other projects going on this summer that will probably take up a little bit more time. And so a lot of my regular clients, I'll have to make sure they get some dates. And so there's going to be real hard to get a spot up there for me this year, unfortunately. But
are you pre-booking now? Or you just already have kind of pre-booked your regulars? Regulars get first priority, is what you're saying.
Yes.
If you book before, you're going to get me first come.
Yeah. Otherwise, once Alex gets that calendar to go live on January 1st, it's a free for all. Everyone who wants to book a trip can go grab those dates that are available and sign up right there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It just sucks, guys. I honestly wish I could guide every day up on
I know you do.
But it's gonna be a little tricky. We're still doing it plenty, 2-3 weeks at a crack, but
sure,
it's just not. There's literally probably 30 to 35 dates is all up there.
Well, you'll be up there soon enough, man. So the results are in. I'm going to read some of the comments. Travis without the White Claws. Very cool, Travis. A little less sadsy. No more angry Travis without the booze. Gummies. Sassy is what he meant to say. It's the bat venom under his tongue. It's low T. He's like a house cat now. Travis sure has acted more mature without White Claw. He's stressed out. I personally like the Black Cherry Travis better. Last time I took a gummy, I mowed my whole lawn without the blades engaged. More depressed. It was the White Claw. I think Travis is a lot more fun with Tito's. Pick up the damn bottle, Manson. Do it again. That's from TK. He does not do mushrooms anymore. Anyway, so there you go. Get him a drink. There you go, man. So you get the flow. Check your testosterone. That's all. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Well, he really enjoyed that, everybody. I'm glad we asked the question.
I was reading them the whole time as well, so I seen them all. It wasn't like a shock to the system here. I glance
Oh,
over there and look at the comments myself, just like you.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it would be interesting to have some public discourse about it. That's what makes the show interesting until you killed the moment, but that's okay.
I did kill it.
You did.
How about some guests? Line up some guests. That's a good idea. Anyone got any ideas or people you'd like to see on future live shows? Send me a message.
Great question.
I've seen a couple asks for Mikey Balls today.
I did. I did
see that too quite a bit.
Give Ballsy another chance.
People always like having Salzman on. He's a good interview. Even guys like topic shows.
Let's get some new fresh faces up in here.
I think the topic shows are great. I love them.
Yes.
Dialed in by season is even more interesting because then you get to go out and try it.
Mm-hmm.
Like pre-spawn, spawn,
Eric,
post-spawn.
You for some reason didn't seem too excited about the idea I presented to you about breaking down a quick 8 to 15 minute video about specific baits and things like that you have going on in the background. I thought that'd be great for your brand. It would help grow support. And so I'd really like to get that going. Like start maybe making some episodes here in the next soon.
I got you.
Okay.
We can do it. We can talk.
All right.
We want to get that big calendar item done first. That's what I'm holding out for.
BTC. What the heck?
Get Matt Greenblatt on. That was an inside joke.
No, not necessarily.
Who is he?
Just a pro.
Oh,
yeah.
That's interesting. Just a pro.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to see here. There's something there. We don't know what it is.
There's nothing.
Okay. All right. I'm just checking. Seems like we've hit a lull in the show.
We always do.
We do. There's been a few.
Back to rescue us.
I thought you went to bed.
Hold on. Matt Greenblatt today.
Yeah. Why'd you say that?
I don't know. Did anyone else see him on, what was it, Travis? What was that show?
I don't know.
But unsolved, cold case.
Dateline.
We're not going there. All right, listen.
He just asked out. Why'd you do that? Oh, that guy. Oh, that guy. That guy. That was the guy that was accused of. All right. Am I right? About his.
I'm not going there. I want to change subjects.
I see.
The first time I heard about him was I tried to get someone on the SmallmouthCrush podcast, and Travis said, "We can't have that guy on. We might as well."
We just cancel Alex.
There's some things you just don't talk about on a podcast.
I got it. Well, what do you want to talk about, Travis? Are we done?
I just want to say, see you on the water.